Are we go now?
Oh, we go.
As in Thunderbirds. I'll go.
Thunderbirds.
I've got a blank screen though. Why is the screen blank? Oh, there it is.
Because I had to stop sharing to get it back.
Ah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're going.
And we should have subtitles going too. So.
Oh, we do have a clue. We do have a clue.
We do have a clue.
Yeah, they're out in the chat.
I haven't got a clue.
So you don't have a clue?
I haven't got a clue.
But,
I'm sorry, I haven't a clue.
Yeah.
Bastard pretender.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read the coup out.
That don't fit.
Ozzie, scientist, is an American-Russian physicist who worked first with Paul Dirac and Lev Landau. He published a seminal paper in quantum electrodynamics with Dirac and Fock. Swedger.
A Fock with an O.
He's best known for his work on entangled wave functions and was a member of a group of three who published a well-known famous paper known as... What, the name of the paper?
I can't give that clue because that would give it away.
Oh, so it's not the name of the famous paper. We want the name of the scientist. Yeah.
You want the name of the scientist, but the paper is a very well-known paper, 3-letter acronym that stands for the 3 people that published the paper.
Oh, I like that one, Carl. Bjork Pantalini.
Pantalini.
Bjork, make a silly noise. And they football stars.
Bjork.
Yeah.
You remember Bjork, don't you?
Bjork. Yeah.
I used to love her on Spitting Image.
Yeah, it was a good one. Spitting Image, the modern Spitting Image is just not the same as the old one, really.
No, because it's not done by the same people with the same sort of,
yeah.
Sense of humour. And no, I mean, the stuff that was in the early 80s. That's what got me into politics, because I was watching Spitting Image and thinking, who are all these people? So I started paying attention to it,
I think, and also, I think the old Spitting Image was much more brutal as well about the politicians.
Oh,
much more brutal.
Very,
Ruth
very
Dirds
brutal.
has it.
It does.
Well, Boris.
Boris.
Boris. Oh.
Boris
That's
Podolsky.
a good old fashioned Russian name, isn't it?
Boris.
Oh, yeah.
Boris.
I think Bjork was better.
That's not Russian.
I'm just.
No,
why am I
nice
thinking
name.
of the end of True Lies? Boris and Doris.
Podolsky. Yeah, I know him. I know Boris Podolsky really well. Me and him, we're mates.
Podolsky.
Podolsky. Yeah,
Well,
I know.
Matt obviously knows him better than you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I know him very well. It's my mate.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Just remember, Matt, if life gives you melons, you're probably dyslexic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this could be an Aussie bloke, this channel that I just went to.
Oh, yeah.
What's he, an Aussie player?
Getting drag
Oh,
racing
dear.
Adelaide Raceway.
Oh, Turtles. Timbo's got his new turtle up. Look.
And then all of a
Yeah, I
sudden
fixed his arms.
And then all of a sudden
It's no longer a mutant ninja turtle.
Flippers.
But he's got a grey arm and he's got a kind of a greenish yellow arm. It's like
Yeah,
It's it's the way the light's falling on it.
yeah.
Oh,
No, I just painted the green
yeah,
out
make
before
it
we
bigger.
came
There
in,
we go.
and then I completely stuffed it up and got that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one.
so. He looks like he's flying. He's
No, he's swimming in water. How can you be flying in water?
Yeah.
He looks like he's flying, though. I did say he was flying. I said it looks like he's flying.
Oh, he can wave.
He's raising a flipper.
Oh, he's
Well,
waving
the
other
principles are the
flipper.
same.
He's waving.
He's flying. He's traveling through a fluid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his
Thank you,
front.
Tom.
That's his front flippers. Where's his back flippers?
Yeah.
Just
I haven't
annoys
got
me
any.
when somebody looks at a tortoise and goes, "Oh, turtle." No,
No, he's
Turtle.
not. Definitely not the same.
So Timbo.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Barbie get pregnant?
I was going to say, have you ever looked down the bottom of a can?
No.
Well, besides that
No.
fact.
You tell me. You tell me.
Well, it's because Ken comes in another box.
Oh.
There you go.
You want me to laugh now or
Oh
laugh
dear.
later?
Oh dear.
Is somebody eating steak for dinner? What's going on?
Yeah.
I can hear somebody
That's
chatting.
Paul's eating.
Oh,
Is it steak you're eating, is it?
Yeah, that'd be Paul.
I thought it's either steak or it's a chop.
That or a
It's like
bag
cutting
of
at it.
chips or something.
Yeah.
Or a bottle of drink. You gonna do a Riley
No,
while you're
no.
there?
You see, the difference is that Paul's generally at this time of a night for him eating, although he doesn't speak with food in his mouth.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I won't go any further.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct. I don't.
Matt's got no idea what we're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
No, that's all.
I don't know why you're picking on me.
Is this what you want to hear?
No. He's doing a Riley now, yeah. There you go. He's doing a Riley.
UFOs plus space rock. Chemtrails.
Oh, you're making me thirsty now. I'm going to have to make a cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh
Reference.
shit! If I make a cup of tea, that means I've got to go into the rest of the house.
It's cold, yeah.
It's
Same.
cold. It actually just shutting the door in here. I mean, I had the heater on for a little bit, but I think it's just the heat coming off. You know, the PC, the monitors, me is keeping the temperature in here bearable. But as soon as I set foot on the landing, it's like, oof, Christ, that's cold in here. I mean, yeah, no heat since Sunday. It is. No hot water as well. That's the biggest pain in the ass.
Every single video is only a minute long on this by this bloke.
Oh, so your boiler's affecting your hot water as well as you're heating them.
But it's a combi boiler. It does both. I
Yeah.
don't have a hot water cylinder. If I want hot water, the boiler sort of ramps up and does the hot water. It saves space. You don't have a cylinder or anything. But the problem is that when your boiler packs up, you don't have any hot water.
Yeah, same.
I do have an electric shower over the bath as well. But it's like when you want to do the washing up, you think, okay, that's at least a couple of kettles worth of hot water in the sink, you know, so there's enough water to do the washing up. It's all sort of stuff like that you take it for granted till it's not there, and oh god.
Well, it seems like his first flat Earth videos is this one, flat Earth stationary Earth, but that's 49. 3-minute compass, flat Earth, figure 8 sun, flat Earth.
Oh, figure 8 sun, really?
Yeah, okay.
Over the flat Earth.
Yeah, we're going to try that one.
All right.
Good for a laugh.
Right, I'm going to go and make a cup of tea while you're doing that.
I'll have to wait till it gets back because this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, people are suggesting I'm Gamera. I don't know about that. Might have to rectify that situation.
Why is it whenever the screen freezes, I'm pulling a silly face?
Oh yeah, you're pulling the silly face
I
again.
was.
Well, I think it's just relative to how many, the proportion of silly faces you have to the chances of us catching it.
Yeah.
Seems
what
pretty
silly
high,
face did we
apparently.
get this time? I didn't see it. I missed that one.
What, this one?
Okay. Oh shit, I wasn't quick enough.
That's all right. Carl usually grabs all of these from the stream, so
Grab that one, Carl. I've got to be quick enough.
That's one who was first on the bet. He's posted it in Fair Suck already. He's a good lad.
Okay, here we go.
Did you know Gamera fought Godzilla?
Never really been into Godzilla.
No, the kaiju. Kaiju are fun.
There we
Bloke
go.
in a rubber suit walking around a film set. Yeah.
No, that's not
Yeah,
as good as the face
that's what makes it fun.
Oh no, it's not as good as the other week. But hang on, I just need to. Let me just mute you down.
Now do you want me to freeze frame?
I was only blowing my nose. Just didn't think you wanted to hear me blowing my nose.
Oh, definitely not.
No.
Unless you're
It's when you mute yourself and then you do
that. Yeah, I was going to say, you a trumpet nose blower or are you a or the other one?
I just try not to hot mic too much. That meeting I just had, one of the guys in there was obviously in quite a busy office, and he wouldn't mute himself, and you could hear every single bloody conversation that was going on around.
Oh.
And you don't like to say, excuse me, can you just mute yourself when you're not talking, because we can hear everything. Some people just, I guess they're just not aware of these sort of things, and they don't spend an awful lot of time, online and doing this, I guess. Oh, the racket. I mean, one of them you could see he's in the sight hut, and he was muted best. Yeah, I think all the time. It's like, good lad, you understand the score.
Yeah.
Oh God, the hot mic.
Self-awareness and
Yeah.
it doesn't go together sometimes with some people.
No, and then there's the other ones who've got the mic here, and you can hear everything. Oh. You can hear them masticating.
I'd never do anything like that, like doing anything.
Exactly. Yeah. and then sometimes we're pinging each other in various sort of messenger formats, because you can hear the ones who aren't using headphones, and most of them don't. You can hear the pings of their bloody computers all the time as everybody's sort of messaging and emailing each other through the meeting, and
Carl goes, yes. I'd like to get a new headset. It doesn't do that. I tried to fix that, but I don't think I can.
I mean, if you've got a boom mic, you can just sort of move it away from your mouth so it doesn't pick up, absolutely everything. But it's like my wireless ones. There is no boom mic. The mic's just built into one of the headphones, so it is what it is, and you can't do a lot with it.
If you're staring at the camera and you've got a boom mic, probably most of the time when you're talking, it's not too bad.
One of them said, I was in a meeting last week, and they said, a hell of a pair of headphones you got on there. I said, no, not really. They're just like, they're gaming headphones that supposedly have quite a good microphone on them. That's all. I mean, they've got a good sound, got surround sound in them. But they weren't that expensive.
The same bloke you could hear all the sound from the background.
No.
Then you could say, yeah, they're a really good set of they're really good headphones. I can hear everything in the background. Where you are.
Most of them, they're on laptops, because you can see they're looking down at the camera. They haven't got headsets, earphones, earplugs, anything at all. So they're just using the speakers on the laptop, the microphone on the laptop, and quite often they'll blur the background, but it does just blur it, and you can see they're in an open plan office, and you can hear all the conversations and everything else. It's like, oh, don't. Oh, it's a good one, Carl, because that's half the problem. I don't go back and sort of watch the streams to listen, but when I was buying these ones, they all said, well, actually, they've got they've got a good microphone, because there's some very good headsets out there, and the microphones are crap.
And you haven't got it pulled down; you've just got it stuck up there.
Yeah, because I say you can put it right up, you can put it anywhere you like. I just sort of generally leave it. It's actually the test is, because I'm right-handed. I don't like letting go of the mouse, so I drink my tea with the left hand. And if you have a boom mic down here in the way,
and drink your tea.
Well, that's why I've got to be careful because mine's not a boom mic; it's a flexible one. I've got to be careful when I drink.
Because people have said to me when I have worked in offices, they said, "You're right-handed, yeah. So how come your mug's always on the left?" I said, "Well, so I don't like letting go of the mouse." Because everything you're doing on the screen requires you to be holding the mouse. So I get very good at left-hand typing, and that's why keyboard shortcuts, instead of having two keys wide apart, you have two keys next to each other, so you can just very easily hit everything with your left hand.
So don't be afraid to let go of the mouse. Honestly, it's not going to go anywhere. Don't be afraid.
Even to the point where if I'm doing a lot of entering numbers, I have actually got a separate wireless number pad, because if you look at a keyboard, where are all the numbers? They're either along the top or, right hand side. Well, that's no bloody good. I don't want to keep letting go of the mouse to enter numbers in.
I mean,
Yeah, or when
you got to think about your mouse, haven't you?
Well,
not let it go.
when you, particularly if you're sat here all day using AutoCAD, I don't use drop-down menus. I use keyboard shortcuts. I have since day one. And a lot of the standard AutoCAD keyboard shortcuts, if you need to press two keys, they're two keys that aren't next to each other. Well, that just doesn't work to begin with. So I reprogrammed them to what I remember. I've been using the same shortcuts for 20 odd years. Anybody else sit down and go, "Oh, that doesn't make sense." Well, no, not to you, but it does to me. But because you're constantly using your mouse and having to enter keyboard shortcuts all the time, your left hand's for the keyboard, your right hand's for the mouse, and you just get so used to using the mouse all day, you don't use your right hand for anything else. Sort of, unless you are typing lots and lots of words, and then it's two hands on the keyboard. If you're entering big chunks of text or something, but it's just. It's a habit I've got into over the years.
Anybody else want a cup of tea?
Yes, please.
I'll have one while you're there.
Right.
Builder's tea, but without the sugar.
What was that, Terry?
I said milk with 2 sugars. But you've already gone to make it, so
Righto.
I missed out, didn't
Yeah, I'll come out. I'll stick the kettle on.
Well, actually, that's what I'm going to do since you came back.
I was going to wait until you put a decent length video on, then I was going to nip off and make a quick cuppa. But
so what you're saying about that meme, Paul, is that it's not the falling that kills you; it's the landing, right?
No.
What's it saying then?
It's well, in a way, kind of. Yeah, it's not the velocity that kills you; it's the
deceleration.
That's right. It's the force.
Yeah, well, it's not the fall; it's the impact.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, like you can't get any more deceleration when you hit the ground. I mean, that's pretty rapid deceleration.
It's the change in momentum.
Yes, from having lots to having nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fall is it's large and it's round. I'll call it the ground. I wonder if it'll be friends with me.
Friends with me, yeah.
You've got lots of time to enjoy the fall, and then all of a sudden, bop. I'll just hit the ground and spread myself over a large area.
Anyone ever see that video of the bloke that jumped out of an airplane and landed in that big net?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he actually have a parachute?
No.
Was it a net? I thought unless something did a different one. I mean, like the one I saw landed in a pile of boxes.
No, it was a big.
No, it was a huge net.
One.
I mean, it must have been sort of a couple of 300 feet across.
All right.
You'd look at it and think that's a big target, but when you jump out of a plane and you're falling, it's like.
Well, the one that I saw, he's free falled into some boxes.
Oh no!
No, he had the one I think you're thinking of. He had what do you call him? What's his suit on? Wingsuit on.
Yeah.
He flew into the boxes. He had a wingsuit on, which is different to the other one who free fell.
Yeah, the other guy, he did free fall without parachute into a net, and it was 100 feet off the ground or whatever, because obviously you hit the net and the whole thing. But yeah, he did it. I mean, there have been instances, particularly during the Second World War, of bomber crew bailing out and the parachute not working or not. They didn't even have time to attach it and surviving. Sort of, they're the ones who tended to hit trees and then land in snow and stuff like that. You need something to sort of slow the fall before you hit the ground, because obviously jumping out of a plane at 25,000 feet and having nothing to slow you down at all is terminal. But there were guys who ended up sort of with broken legs and things, and they're going, "My chute didn't open," and the Germans go, "Yeah, right, whatever." Then they looked at the chute and went, "Shit, he's right, it didn't."
and even when that guy landed in that net, the net was so wasn't very resistant. What do you call it? There's a word for it.
Exactly. It had a lot of it very slack.
Very slowly.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole point was it slowed him down before he actually hit the ground.
Otherwise, it's rigid. You're going to bounce and
Yeah, it wasn't a trampoline.
Well, that's why that above a certain height, if you bail out over the sea, it's going to kill you because, to all intents and purposes, you're hitting something that's bloody solid because it is bloody solid.
Yeah.
It's not the stopping that kills you; it's the stopping quickly that kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hence your
Yeah.
yeah.
The world record for falling without a parachute is 10,160 meters.
Bloody hell.
6.31 miles.
Because don't forget, a parachute that doesn't open properly will still give you some drag, so it will slow you down a bit.
Yeah, it's how much it slows you down.
How much it slows you down, exactly. So,
It was a flight attendant.
Blue's giving his wisdom out there.
it was a flight attendant, was it, that jumped? Was it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I like that. First rule of aviation: maintain thine altitude, lest the ground rise up and smite thee.
That's right. The plane broke apart in midair into 3 pieces, and so she fell. I'm just trying to see how she survived. Obviously, it wasn't by just sheer luck. She must have had something. Oh, it's freezing temperature, so she fell into an updraft.
Right.
Okay. Well, would the updraft be that enough to slow her down that much to survive?
Well, she survived.
Well, she still must have been badly injured, though. I mean, must have.
I'm just trying to see. Yeah, she wasn't well off. So she suffered a fractured skull, 2 broken legs, 3 broken vertebrae, a fractured pelvis, several broken ribs, temporary paralysis below the waist.
Yeah, pretty banged
The
up.
point is, she wasn't dead. That's a bit like fighter pilots when they have to eject. They quite often sustain injuries during ejection. But the point is, they're still alive.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I reckon that she did. I reckon she cheated because I've just seen here that she fell with the wreckage.
She cheated.
So
What do you mean she cheated?
Hanging on to a bit of fuselage.
Oh no, let go. That's cheating. Let go. That's cheating. You can't do that. That's cheating.
Surf's up.
No, but that's what obviously helped reduce her.
Okay.
Reduce the velocity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Help slow it down. But just, I gotta say how lucky, but not that lucky because the plane blew up in the first place.
No, she was found screaming inside the wreckage.
I bet she was.
Yeah.
My God.
But sure, that was a bit traumatic. Yeah.
Sort of, half through the trauma of the experience, and the other half the sheer pain of half her body's broken. I mean, I think I'd be screaming too. Actually thinking, no, can I just please pass out from the pain?
Blue said he'd be back in a bit.
Okay.
Oh,
back.
He had an appointment. And
Back? Was he here in the first place?
Yeah.
back once again,
He
like
had
a renegade
He had
master.
an appointment with. He had to go to Specsavers.
Yeah.
Should have gone to Specsavers, and he
Well,
did.
slightly better than Specsavers, I hope, as he did say, an eye doctor.
Oh, it's a surgeon, a proper doctor.
Does he
say
say?
doctors at Specsavers?
Yes.
Oh, they're called optometrists.
Oh,
Optometrists.
What?
look, just let me joke go.
Optometrists.
I
You
Kill
mean when
that
I
joke.
said
Kill it with fire.
optometricians? Yeah.
I thought you said optometricians. Yeah.
I did, but I mean, optometrists. Opticians.
Well,
Opticians.
you can have opticians or optometrists.
It wasn't ophthalmology. Let's put it that way. Yes. I did say
dear.
opticians for can't even say what I said.
Put your teeth back in.
Yeah, put your teeth in again and have another go.
I got it right shortly afterwards.
Oh, I hope that was your chair and not your back.
It was my chair, yes.
That's when you're leaning back in your chair. We know that.
Yeah.
It was either that or a big fart. One of them.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, that was you. Yeah, well, that figures.
How dare you blame my chair?
Put my finger.
So who wants to try to watch this new guy that I found?
Yeah, come on, let's give him a go.
on.
He could be good
No,
for
I don't
us.
want to. No.
Oh.
There's always one, isn't there?
Yeah,
And his name's
there's
usually
always the
Matt.
Yeah. No, I want to be different. No,
Okay.
I don't want
Has to be
to.
the one.
I was going to say, but we'll do it by hands. All those who can put their hand up.
Hang on, I'll put
Well,
my camera
actually,
on.
we've actually got a thing in here where we could actually put our actual hand up somewhere.
Oh, we have, yes. Somewhere. Wherever the hell that is.
Wait a minute, you got to stop
No,
staring.
you disabled it, didn't it?
No, it's here. It's here somewhere.
Reactions. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, reaction. There we go.
Thumbs up.
A thumb up.
There you go.
Isn't there a hand? Oh no, you can raise hand. It says raise hand there.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, you can put your raise
underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
Raise
hand.
There we go. Well, I got 3 hands.
Reaction.
Need 4. Oh no, 3 wins actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
3
Well, I
wins.
thought
Lower
I'd
hand.
go with the general
Take it back down.
consensus.
That's it. Democracy here.
Oh, my landlady's now taking the piss. She's just sent me an email. Please confirm the other plumber has resolved the problem for you. What other plumber?
What other plumber? Yeah.
What other plumber?
You'd like this for a motto, Farmer's Boy. I've got some friends that hired a builder to do some renovations of their thing, and his motto is, I do things fast, cheap, or good quality. You know? but you can only have 2 of those at the same time.
I like that, yeah. Yeah, that appeals.
Yeah. Fast and cheap, but it won't be good. Fast and good, it won't be cheap. Cheap and good,
right.
it won't be fast.
Oh, see, Carl's on my side. Look, he says, look, there you go. Carl,
What did he say?
I'm on your
I'm
side.
on your side.
He's on my side. I don't know what about, but he's on my side.
Well, that's the problem. I don't think he does either.
Are we getting a revolt out there?
Although the peasants are revolting again. I wonder what the smell was. Anyway, Terry.
Terry.
I'm Terry. Terry.
No, I'm here.
Terry.
I just wanted to make the suspense.
Terry.
I just wanted
Terry. Terry.
If you're there, let us know. One ping only.
One ping only. Give me one ping only.
I was trying to do it for dramatic effect.
Oh, is that right? So,
Oh, it was dramatic. It was a dramatic failure.
Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing. That's why.
yeah. So, Terry, I say, Terry, dear chap, Terry.
Yeah.
Look what you've done to him now.
Terry, dear chap, would you be awfully kind if you press the play button, please, Terry?
Yes, I can do that for you.
Jolly good.
I'll learn how to do an English accent. I'll be right.
Well,
Yeah,
go
I
on.
wanted to make
top
a
hole.
video on how the sun works. This is basically a diagram how the outer wall, the south pole,
hell is all
the north
Oh,
pole,
I know it's bad, worse
the
than
sun
Lindsay.
travels around the
Hell.
south pole.
He sounds like he's stoned as well.
goes around the
Stoned
North Pole.
Australian. Oh, yeah.
Okay. The north pole
Oh, yeah,
spins
mate.
clockwise,
Yeah,
it's
mate.
energy, it's a
Oh,
negative.
yeah.
The south pole spins anti-clockwise, it's a positive. What these Nazi symbols represent, this one spins
No.
anti-clockwise,
Swastikas, you
this
mean?
one spins clockwise. There are 2 suns, one is the anti-sun, one is the sun. They attract and repel energy.
The anti-sun.
Basically,
The
like how the magnet works. Positive repels,
good idea,
negative attracts. That's
What?
how they work.
No, what?
No.
Here is another diagram.
Just no.
A little bit.
Is it late enough in the day to
Full
start drinking?
screen.
Do, Terry, don't forget, if you do, Farmer's Boy, don't forget to put a finger up.
Around the south pole, energy spins anti-clockwise, the north clockwise. The sun goes around the south, gets wider until it gets out, until it goes around the north pole. Okay.
It does laps of 8.
Figure
Even the
eight.
Romans knew how it worked.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
they didn't use this one.
Carl says I need to go and give my cat a bath.
Clockwise.
Bye.
South Pole,
Oh
anti-clockwise.
my god.
I just got to pop out and retile the
Clockwise,
roof.
Anti-clockwise. Clockwise.
But
Anti-clockwise.
if that was the case, wouldn't they all face
Clockwise.
north?
What is that he's
Into a
showing
circle.
now, though? What is
I
it?
don't know. I have no idea.
He's saying the Romans knew because they would put those type of corbels on some of their
Into a circle.
columns.
Yeah, but all that guff isn't Roman, is it? That's not Roman.
No.
It's a mixture
Bloody-
of all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Bloody
Another
Romans.
older one.
Is he using his video camera
Into
or
a
phone
circle.
or something to?
He is, isn't he, on a
On the,
screen?
on the,
Yeah.
on the screen, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Clockwise with their Nazi symbols.
Well, you know, what do you expect to flirt?
Yeah,
Anti-clockwise,
first it's
clockwise.
thick, come
on.
Same again, anti-clockwise.
Didn't expect any high
clockwise, north and
standards,
south
I'm sure.
pole.
But is it better than
A
a
lot of that
whiteboard
looks
though?
sort of Nordic.
Yeah,
Is
well,
it better than a
government
whiteboard?
with their
Oh, look,
All
he's
he
getting all
needs-
this from Facebook. Look, he's getting
I
all
know-
from Facebook.
He needs a feather. He needs a feather to point at the screen, just like old Mudfossil
Another one.
University does.
moon
Because he
and
films himself over his shoulder, doesn't he?
that represents
Yeah.
how the sun spins.
And then points at everything using a feather.
And he's getting all this
Okay.
from Facebook,
Now
so
we'll
it's
move on to
you know the
how the
source of all
sun
reliable
travels
information. Facebook.
Oh
in
yeah,
Fairbanks,
definitely.
Alaska.
Yes,
Sun.
Carl, he does need a smack in the head. That'd do
Comes
the world a good.
towards Alaska, looking to the south from the north. This is where the equator is. The sun actually comes to you
In
and away
Alaska?
from you, which means it's
Where?
actually arcing away.
The equator's not in
arcing
Alaska.
Around,
That's,
like
well, it
how
is according to him.
Well, it wasn't the
most
last time I
world
checked.
Assumes to think it works.
He-
This sun is
I thought
actually
you heard
coming
right.
towards
Alaska,
you
yeah.
and away.
I thought it was me. You misheard.
Speed it up a little bit.
Blimey.
This is why they only get 3 hours of sunlight. It's because the sun is coming towards and away.
No, it's
That's
not.
the quantum. That's a quantum sun.
Ah.
You can look at all these videos. They're on YouTube.
What time of the year was this supposed to be?
Okay. So what that means, if you're looking at a flat Earth map,
Oh, no.
zoom out from that
Hell
a
is
little bit.
that?
He's drawn on his
Alaska's
Gleason.
at
He's
the
printed
North
off a
Pole.
Gleason. Look.
If you think that the sun is going around and then all of a sudden it goes towards Alaska and then away from Alaska, sorry, it would be going this way
What?
because it's
Why would it do that? What are you
'cause it's
talking
going
about?
anti-clockwise, which means it's going from this way to that way, anti-clockwise, spinning, which is what happens when it goes around the South Pole. It comes from the equator towards Alaska
What's he
and then
talking
back
about?
around. Towards, back around. Okay.
No, this isn't Santos. Definitely not Santos.
Okay.
That's
I
not-
do
that's
not
not-
think it
Only
means
one.
what you
Here's
think
another
it
one.
means.
No.
Fairbanks in Alaska, different user, different post. There's many of them. People are looking at the 24-hour sun. Well, you got to look at what's happening in the winter. What way is the sun actually going? What way is it traveling?
It's
Coming
still
towards
going-
Alaska from the equator.
It's not
from looking
travelling
south,
anywhere.
It's from the
from the
equator.
north. You can speed this up just a little bit. Sun comes towards and away.
Towards and away.
Disappears.
It goes away.
So if you're in Alaska,
Disappears off the edge of the screen.
in the centre, the sun is going like this, towards and away, towards and away.
No,
How
it's
can
not.
it be going around in a circle
No.
and then all of a sudden it goes towards and away?
No.
That's because it's going around the South Pole, towards and away.
Oh God.
And look, when I
Okay.
close my eyes, my room disappears.
Now we'll go to what happens in Antarctica. Well, it does opposite. It comes towards and away, but it's actually doing a clockwise circle. Coming towards. Speed it up a little bit.
He's making it up as he goes
That's because
along.
it's going around the North
Yes.
Pole,
Consider the lily.
doing its circle.
What were they called?
So at least he acknowledges the Earth is not flat.
Yeah,
Here's
that's
another
true.
one.
Yet.
From the Antarctic,
Yeah.
comes towards, looking north at the equator, and the sun comes
Bloody hell.
towards and away. Which means if you're in
Towards
Antarctica,
and away.
Antarctica pole,
What about the rest of
coming
Antarctica?
towards Antarctica and away from Antarctica. The same with if you're in the North Pole and it's going around Antarctica, it's coming this way towards Alaska.
Alright.
Oh, just like Lindsay. He's like a bogan version of Lindsay, isn't he?
And can we have a big shout out to our new guest in the side chat?
Yeah, John.
John, how's
John,
it going, mate?
Yeah, John gets a spanner if he subbed. I think he is.
John.
He hadn't been
G'day,
on for a
John.
long time.
Mr. Bernards.
John, I don't know him. I don't know John Bernard.
You
Oh,
don't.
actually, no.
Yes,
Yeah, I
you
do.
do.
Yes,
You
I do.
do.
Yes, I
Yes.
do. Yeah, you're right. Thinking about it.
Can we?
You know those Roman columns? Do you know they're actually Greek? I mean,
the mysteries of architecture.
they're called ionic columns. Yes,
Bloody
to learn
Greeks.
about
What have they ever done for us? Astronomy,
the
philosophy,
aqueducts.
aqueducts. No,
Roads.
that was the Romans. Hold
So
on.
is
That
there
was the
part-
Romans. Hold on.
So there's a part 2 to this one.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
Look, if the Romans did it, they probably stole it from the Greeks.
Yeah, well, they stole all the gods from the Greeks, didn't they? So yeah, why not?
Stole a lot of things from the Greeks.
Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah.
They must have invented some stuff, though.
You want to know how a compass really
Salaries.
works?
Romans invented salaries.
Fighting. They were good at fighting.
Yeah, come on. Let's see how compass really works,
How a compass
as
works.
opposed to how
Yeah.
we think it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you
Right.
mean how it actually works? You mean? Not how
No, he's
we
going
think
to tell
it
us how it actually works because we've obviously got it wrong all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make a video. Okay, I wanted to make it.
Get back there.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get it back without playing.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, Maeve, leave Johnny alone. He's
All right.
he's harmless. Well, as long as he's not driving.
Well,
Terry,
Matt,
dear chap.
wait a minute. I've got another naked Mav V64 out there.
Yeah.
If you're subbed, you get a spanner.
How do you know he's subbed?
Because if they're
It's
not,
a sub
I'll
cap,
take
guys.
the spanner away.
Honesty system.
Because I can always check the logs. Who subbed?
Yeah, after you've given them a spanner.
Yeah, then I'll
Okay.
come. Yeah, then I'll come back and take the spanner away.
Take it away. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Lord
Take it away. 3, 4.
Anyway, Terry,
Oh, hey, mate. How you going?
dear chap, could you be so kind as to press the play?
Yes,
Awfully,
I
please,
could
thank
do
you.
that for you.
Okay, I wanted to make a video to show how a compass actually really works.
Oh, I needed to know
This
that.
is a magnet. It basically tracks and repels.
And
One side is north, one side is south. Okay, a compass will attract to whatever side of the magnet that it is attracted to. So if it's on a northern side
Shock
magnet,
horror, really?
the compass
Wow.
will attract to it. If it's on the southern side, it will attract to the southern side. Okay, for an example, I have drawn a line to say where north is. Okay, well, if we move the compass over to here and it's attracted to the south magnet, well, guess what? You reckon north is over here?
Yeah.
Well, I've just changed north to over there because the south is attracting to the southern magnet, the south
yeah,
pole.
because you just put a great big magnet next
So
to
I
it.
spin
What's
this
that doing?
around to the north,
What?
it's going to attract to the north.
Hey?
What? What did that? What?
So he's just demonstrated that a compass works by detecting magnetic field, and he's just put in a magnet that's obviously more powerful than the Earth's magnetic field. Therefore,
Therefore what?
What was his point? What was he trying to prove? I don't understand what he's trying to prove.
A compass works by aligning itself with a magnetic field, and he's just put one in front of it that's stronger than the Earth's.
Yeah, so what has he told us that we don't already know?
Therefore level.
Lovely horizontal.
Hang on, no, sorry, I'm not.
Can you see me? I'm quite short. Lovely horizontal.
I've got to get one of the hats. I've got to get one of those ridiculous hats he wears.
That's funny. Oh, dear.
You can have a laugh, can't you? Have you been keeping up with him on Twitter?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Somebody challenged him to another debate, and they said no. He's because I can't remember the chap's name, but he's never debated before, and he said, "Look, I'll debate you on either the non-sex show or Red's channel." And Bev said, "No, they won't be interested. Sorry." And both of them came back and said, "Yep, sure, when."
He thought he'd scared him off.
Yeah. Of course, they're quite happy to have Bev on and watch him make a complete tit of himself again, like he does every other time. But oh dear,
that's the only reason why they go and watch debates with Bev, because we just know that Bev's just going to make a tit
I wanted to make a video.
Oh, did you? All right.
Did you?
No,
Good.
no, I didn't.
Nice. It's just it's a bit strange.
That's a video.
It's a bit funny, kind of like coming on to making a video where you start a video. I wanted to make a video, really. Well, you're doing it right now. If you didn't want to make a video, you wouldn't be making a video, would you? You silly sod.
Crumpy.
Gotta
What's the
say it
matter?
like
You
Neil on the young ones. We've got a video.
Oh, have we got a video? Yes, we have got a bloody video. Crumpy wants to know who this is. This is Jazzler111.
Yeah.
That's his YouTube channel. Jazzler111.
Do you dare put his link in the chat?
Oh, I'll put a link in the chat.
Hang on, let me. I'll take care of that.
I'll put
a link to his actual.
I'll put a link.
I'll be right back. I've just got to make a cup of tea for the missus now. Be right back.
Sod the tea. I'm going to have to go get something to eat in a minute. I'm surprised you can't hear my stomach. Oh, there we go.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh, blimey. Yeah, well, breakfast was, a long time ago.
We'll play one more. We've got time just to do one more. 3 minutes. This one goes for 3 minutes. I better share it first before I...
Yeah.
Would be a good idea. Where are we? Over there. All ready to go here.
Over there. Hello. We saw this in the other video.
Yeah, no, but I skimmed through it. It's got some different stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Figure 8, sun, moon, and stars. Okay. Oh, that's right. Matt's not here.
Terry, could you press play, please?
Yes, Farmer. I could do that.
Thank you.
On how
You're too kind.
This figure 8 sun and moon and all the so-called planets that they call planets. The sun
So called.
spins around the South Pole. It goes anti-clockwise. In your books, it will tell you that it goes clockwise. I don't think this is clockwise. Well, then it goes to the South Pole and goes clockwise. This is anti-clockwise. They're looking at it from the ground up, which looks clockwise, which is really anti-clockwise from the view from above the stars.
Above the stars?
How do you get above the stars?
What I want to show is how it actually works. I've actually pulled out a program that you can download and check for yourself. It's called Sky Maps.
Yeah.
Well, this maps out where all the stars are, where the sun is, longitude, latitudes, the hours.
I knew he'd be
basically, and you can find out exactly where everything is in the sky.
Has he got a
from
mullet?
the South Pole to the
Probably.
North Pole. Okay.
Oh dear.
The South Pole, I can map out every star that travels around, like the Southern Cross is basically here, and it goes around the South Pole like this. What? There's many other stars I can map out on this, and I can map them out on the north. But what I want to actually show is Australia is about here, looking towards the equator to the North Pole. The sun rises in the northwest. The sun rises over here from Australia. The moon comes from behind me in the southeast, and the moon is tracking on this line here, tracking around the South Pole. Same with Saturn, same with Pluto, same with Jupiter. What? The sun is tracking on the outskirts of the North Pole, and soon in the next couple of weeks you're going to watch it jump in the application. You watch it jump from the North Pole over the equator and start going around the South Pole. And you can monitor this in the application.
Okay.
It's called Sky Map. Another thing, if people think that it goes around the North Pole, well, it's only going around the Tropic of Cancer to the equator, and then they think the Tropic of Capricorn. Well, what you're getting is no sine wave. And what I mean by that is the sun is coming down and back up around the North Pole, down, back up. It's not coming this way.
Where?
It's got to come this way and that way to get a sine wave.
What the?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What? You understood that?
Yeah.
And thanks for watching.
No, I didn't understand that at all.
What the what?
So, if anybody in the side chat's got the faintest idea what he's on about, could you help us out, please?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're
This is
lost.
Lindsay
I do,
2.0,
but
that's
it's
for
complete
sure.
rubbish. He can't handle the fact that the supposed sky map only has a northern hemisphere look and a southern
So
hemisphere
he's
look.
seen something that was in that sky map that did something representing the movement of something.
Yeah, it's only got.
And
You nominate which hemisphere you're looking at, right? Whether you're looking at the southern hemisphere or the northern hemisphere. So, funny enough, when it switches over, it goes into the other map. So he doesn't realise it's three-dimensional.
No. It's the same as when he's looking down on his screen at what he's got there. He's talking about it in two different aspects.
And the funny thing, he's talking about how it only, the sun only rises at certain points from Australia. So, like, it does change every now, all through the year. He didn't notice that, obviously. It only rises in the northwest, and the moon only sits on the southeast, according to him.
Somebody's tempting fate. They got the lawnmower. Right, I need to go make a cup of tea and find something to eat.
Okay.
Cup of tea.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, you're plugged in.
He's unplugged himself.
Don't sit on the audio controls that are in the cable to your headset, because you lot just deafen me. Because I led on that one that puts the volume up. The hell was that?
Oh, if I'd known, I would have screamed my head off.
Yeah, we
Ah,
will.
well.
Yeah, could have done all sorts of things.
Turn it up. Right. Turn it up again.
No, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back.
Okay, farmers.
Oh,
It didn't work.
Far out.
It didn't
So
work,
I've got
mate.
That's,
The sad
That's
thing is,
almost-
I've got induction.
that's
Come,
almost
Paul.
a bootable offence.
Almost.
Yep, I've got induction headphones on, so that vibrates the side of my skull. So
My
do that, I
headset
feel
was bouncing off the
literally.
ears.
It would have been loud, but it wouldn't have distorted anyway. Or at least it shouldn't have done.
not induction, conduction. Sorry. Get it right.
Okay, Wednesday's today. Well, whose quiz is it today?
It's
Mine.
Timbo's turn.
Oh, Timbo's turn.
Uh,
Are you going to
Timbo
wait
does
for?
Wednesdays,
You're going
doesn't
to
he?
wait for Matt to get back. So I don't know how long he's going to be.
well, I gotta pull it.
You
up
mean
'cause
you mean farmers, not Matt?
Oh,
I'm here.
sorry.
Why do everybody get us too mixed up? I don't understand it. I don't
Oh.
sound anything
Must
alike.
be the Must be the accent.
No, fuck her off. He's got a completely different accent to me. What are you talking
We could always watch. Forgot anything else.
Share screen. No, let's share.
We'll
Oh,
leave
let's
it.
go
We'll
hit
leave a
that.
little bit of that bloke till next time.
Yeah, he's going to be an endless source of entertainment.
Yeah, he's got a few more videos.
Sure, he has.
How many subs did he have? There's his channel.
Do you mind putting my share up?
He's got well, he's got more subs than me, but then again, he has been around for a while. But that was done in 2017. That last video.
Ah, there we go.
So when was his last video uploaded? 5 months ago. 10 months ago, 11 months ago. So he hasn't been around for a while. He hasn't dropped any videos lately. Okay.
Guess what my first question's about?
Antarctica,
Did you work that out?
North Pole,
Did it sound like the North Pole?
South Pole. Sorry, I meant to say slip of tongue. You know, what would be in me northern hemisphere and all.
Yes. I want to know why one of those flags appears to be further back than the others, but I think it's just that it's bending slightly. So the flag next to the French flag, what's that one?
What, to the right of the French flag?
To the right of the French flag. Can't tell from this photo.
Yeah, that's Argentina.
Oh, of course, blue and white. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue and white. It's not a question, by the way.
No, I guess as much because the question that come up on the screen.
Yes. Yes. Came up before I'd pushed the right buttons. But anyway, it's okay.
Oh.
People are Googling it now, so expect to have quick answers. I also need to.
I got some updated stuff to share with me. I didn't realise that Blue had DM'd me. I'll show that later.
So, what do you think of the colours on the turtle? Do you think I should? Oh, he's back. Yeah.
He's a bit bright, isn't he? He's a bit sort of white mostly. He needs to be more turtle.
Yeah, we
colour.
can see where I've started colouring the right flipper, and
to me he looks too real. He doesn't look
finish
cartoony like your old one.
Okay. I'm trying to make him cartoony with the mouth and the eyes. We'll get there.
I tell you what, stepping into the rest of the house is almost like stepping outside.
Yeah.
It might be warmer outside.
No.
It might be.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get started because we've been waiting for a little bit here.
Yep. No, we haven't.
Okay.
We've been waiting long, have we, Farmer?
Yeah, we have.
Didn't take me that long to make a cuppa, did it?
No.
Okay, so let's get started. Okay, on Antarctica, there are not one, not two, but at least 5 poles. Can you name them?
No.
Okay.
You
need to put it into the chat, into our internal chat. You don't want to give that away.
Well, if it's 5 blokes from Poland, I don't know their names.
So we can do some elimination if you like. Yeah, Carl, I might make him a bit greener. Look at his face. Okay. I haven't had any answers yet. Surely you can come up with at least one.
Well, that's the only one I know. I don't know.
That's. You sure you want to put that? Do you want me to share that answer with the world?
Well,
this is This is Antarctica.
You did ask. Oh, sorry. No, keep getting mixed up. Every bloody time. Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll correct that.
Farmers. Yeah, that's better. Farmers has 2 of them.
Well, we need 3
They're the
more.
2 most obvious ones.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what the other 3 are.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl's got geomagnetic, geological, and something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, celestial. I'm not counting the celestial, by the way, because that's not actually on the ice. Okay, so I'll give you the easy ones. We've got magnetic and we've got geographic.
Right.
Okay, so do we have? Yes, we have geomagnetic. So we've got 3 of them. So we need 2, the last 2, which are the 2 hardest ones.
Well, geomagnetic and magnetic is 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barber's pole is actually almost right. Think about that. Not called a barber's pole.
Oh,
And no, it's not called that either. It's not a stripper's pole. Yes, farmers got it right. So that's one, the ceremonial pole. That's the one we can see in the image. That's one pole. You find it. So now we've got 4. There's only one left to go, and it's probably a really hard one. I'm just seeing if anyone has any idea. It would be. Oh yes. Paul's got it.
Only because I haven't actually visited it, but going there.
Yes. That's the last one. Yeah. That's probably the hardest one. Most people probably don't know about that one. Okay. It's the pole of inaccessibility.
Is it?
Yes. And my understanding, and Paul can correct me, it's yeah, you can say it. You might go. Well, my understanding is
it's the point on Antarctica
center.
that's it's the point on Antarctica that's the furthest from most of the coastline.
Yes. So like this, the hardest to get to because you have to go furthest from the coast. So yeah. Well, there you go.
Oh, what you mean, the Midlands?
The Midlands. Yeah.
Furthest point from the coast, the Midlands. And
Midlands.
Yeah. And very nearby there is the Midlands has a coastal resort. It's called Matlock.
So there you go.
Oh.
Yes, I didn't count the celestial pole because that's actually well above Antarctica by some million miles. Okay, let's go to question number.
What are you talking about out there, John?
John, what does John say?
Oh, Johnny
Talk
B.
to myself. Okay, Johnny B. He's on. Yeah.
Oh, I was just reading about that actor today.
Yeah. Okay, question 2. Where is it possible to dig through the earth via the center of the core? What 2 land masses would only be a few? I think I wrote that really badly.
Yeah,
you did.
I think I didn't go back and reread what I wrote.
What 2 land masses would be the only 2 opposite each other? Yeah.
Well, they're not the only 2. There are a few, but let's say the 2 major ones.
I'm not going to click on the website I have saved. Because I have the answer.
Can you dig to China?
Well,
that's a separate question.
If you're just over the border, yeah.
If you're in Tibet and you dig across the border,
yeah. Well, I suspect most people will be digging the other way. Get out, not in.
That's right.
I think Carl's close.
Carl's got. No, not according to the information I have.
Okay.
There is a part of which Asia and South America are close, just the tips sort of touch each other, I suppose. So you're not necessarily wrong. No, I don't think that's right, Tristan. It could be
By
right.
the centre. God. Yes, because I've got a website saying
These
that
are
you can put in
maximum
your location and it tells you where your antipodal location is. And
So these are the major land masses. Not there are some incidental edges of things that overlap each other.
I think you come out just south of
Okay.
New Zealand somewhere, farmer.
I'll give you a clue. The first one is Antarctica. So what would be the opposite of Antarctica?
One would be tempted to say.
Sorry.
Arctic,
Yes,
but
you've got.
that's not a landmass.
no, it's
Yeah,
not a land
you
mass.
You have a correct, Paul. By the way, top one. You're right.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
The Antarctic other one was pretty easy, but the other ones you got to think about a bit.
Yeah. Any ideas?
Oh, you're gonna have to wait, or mummy will feed you. Oh, sorry about
Okay.
I was talking to the cat. Sorry.
No. So we're looking for what is the opposite side of the world from Antarctica? There's a landmass. Noting that Antarctica is pretty
Actually,
large.
the only other one I can think of, depending on where you are in Antarctica, would be yeah.
I'll give you a minute or so. Yeah, that's the correct one.
It's probably
That's
inaptly
correct.
named, given that most of it's snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Carl.
How do you trick people into coming here?
Did anyone else have that? I didn't see. Make them think it's good. So yes, the correct answer is the two major land bodies would be Greenland and Antarctica are the only two. So as you probably guessed, there's a bit of a geography feel to tonight's questions. Moving on, question 3. Hopefully. Okay, here we go. There. Hopefully you can see that. You might have to zoom in as best you can. That.
Oh, I thought I just had the dirty monitor.
Where can you see now? Obviously, some people are used to looking north and see the northern celestial sphere, and looking south and seeing the southern cross and southern celestial sphere. Where can most of the people in the world see this star field? And what I've done is they're both the same star field, they're just inverted. So some people might be able to see the.
My answer would be outside.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
You mean towards
You
space?
could have a camera. I actually don't know if that's completely correct.
So, are you looking for a country exactly?
I'm looking for
Where
an
can
answer.
most of the world see the stuff?
A
Oh, right,
place.
where can? Oh, right, oh, yeah, I got you.
Oh, most of the world.
I'll read the
that
question.
obviously
Up there.
narrows it down
Yeah.
to the world, to the planet.
Well, yeah, I see where you're getting at now.
No one's got it yet.
Don't know.
I don't know the star patterns, so I can't tell.
No, I don't know
On
well
the
enough to know
equator?
either.
No. Well, actually, technically, yes, you could see it on the equator, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. Southern Africa, yes, you could see it in Southern Africa, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. Outer space, no, I
guarantee
don't
you
think
mine's
you can see outer
correct.
space. No, yours is wrong.
Outside.
No, it's in the sky.
In the
Yeah,
sky.
in the sky, yeah.
That's a no. That, as I said, that's wrong.
That's wrong, yeah.
That's a clue. That's a big clue. Let me give you another clue. Probably a lot of you may have first, a lot of the world may have first noticed this in 1977. And a lot of the people who are a bit older may have had to see it much later.
Well, the only thing I can think of in 77 was the Queen Silver Jubilee, and that's got nothing to do with it.
No.
I only just remember that, to be honest.
So what else came around in 1977?
Yeah, that's right, Grumpy. Not enough clues.
With
Need more
worth
clues.
lots of dollars.
Bad fashion.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. There was some bloody awful fashion in the 70s.
There was particularly some bad hair fashion that, blobs on the side of the heads.
The mullet.
Oh, Oh.
Yes, that's right,
Did I
Farmer's
spell
Boy.
this wrong?
Farmer's Boy's got it. No,
No, I didn't get that clue.
you didn't spell it wrong. You just got the answer wrong, Terry.
Oh.
I think I'm giving away. Oh, yes, we have someone finally.
There we go.
Right. There we go. Out in the peanuts. That is the starfield you first see at the start of Star Wars.
Star Wars, which came out in 1977.
No way.
I like that. That's
Well, I was close. I
question.
said in space, but I didn't say how far away it was.
I was like,
a
wondering
galaxy far away.
Oh, was it?
Far away.
Galaxy far away.
Yeah.
Oh dear me!
Sneaky bastard.
I was like wondering myself, why is he banging on about 1977? What the
77,
hell is he on about?
Then when he said hairstyles, I thought, no.
Oh no!
Oh, farmers! Oh, look!
Yeah, I already knew. I already knew there was going to be a question on tanks.
Sorry. Stop.
Right,
Okay.
You have to stay quiet, farmers. You have to stay quiet.
Okay. No. Okay. Little Willie was the first tank. Weighed about 16 tons in Britain. Where was the biggest tank in the world made?
Farmer knows.
Or
that
made. Made.
Now, what you
made.
when
Has
you
to be
say
made.
when you say biggest,
You
are
need
you
to
talking...
give me an answer. You need to give me an answer. You know, if you think you might know the answer, put it in there. I don't want to give away to other people.
Okay.
You're not allowed to ask questions.
No, that's not right.
Out of it.
Right, so you're not talking. Okay.
Well, the only biggest one I know of is this.
No, it wasn't Germany.
Whoa, really? Okay.
No.
Oh, wasn't the mouse then? I thought that was the biggest tank made. Now you're not doing a trick question now when you say tank, right? You are talking about.
Would I do a quick trick question? Have I ever done a trick question in the past?
You better be talking about an armored fighting vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah, you better be. You better not be talking about like a water tank or an oil tank or something like that.
That's what I reckon.
Better not be.
A trick question.
Yeah.
I make no guarantees.
Because
I've seen oil tanks that were big enough to be swimming pools. That's at a hospital in Norwich.
Yeah, it's bigger than an oil tank.
hang on a minute. You're not talking about a fighting vehicle, are you? You're not. You're cheating. What the hell?
Did I say I was talking about?
Well, the fact is, you said Little Willie is the first tank made of 16 ton made in Britain.
Right, farmers,
cheating.
Did I not say in Discord that you would not like this question?
It's true, you did. Yeah. Biggest tank.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty big tanks in my time.
If you can work out what I'm talking about for a start.
Okay, let's take a punt at. Oh no, I can't spell. Hang on.
No.
No.
Sort of, but no.
Sort of, but no. For fuck's sake.
What was that? No. Right, starting letters, Terry. Well, the first two, anyway.
Yeah, no, I misspelt the last word. But
yeah, Carl, it's not the mouse because apparently it wasn't made in Nazi Germany, and that's where the mouse.
So I'm on
made,
the right
so
track, Timbo.
The mouse was the heaviest tank. The Yanks built the longest. The Russians built the tallest. But he's not on about an armored fighting vehicle.
So am I on the right track?
You have the first two letters correct in what you said.
Oh.
The other two after that are wrong.
Ah.
So it's not a wave tank. What else starts with WA? Oh dear. Yes, that's the right sort of tank, Terry.
Right, now I've just got to go where?
Got to make a guess. What needs a lot of that? We're still going. Anyone else? Sorry, let me go back and check out.
I haven't got a clue. I've got.
That's okay. Okay.
But at least I'm on the right track.
Yes,
At least I'm
Carl.
on the right track.
Yes, Carl, you are on the right track. Now,
Can I just say that I have stood next to Little Willie several times and taken photographs of it?
I'm sure you have.
It's at the Tank Museum. In
Okay,
Boston.
it's a water tank. Okay, obviously it's a water tank. Any idea where the biggest water tank in the world would be? What sort of country would need a lot of water? Would it be a country that has a lot of water, or would it be a country that has not a lot of water? Okay, I think I'm going to give up. At 436,633 cubic meters.
Oh, that's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
I figured
it's the largest.
Right, there's my answer. My final answer. Have a look.
I can't spell it.
You Terry is close. Ish.
Am I right? Am I right? By the way,
hello. Farmers in the right area. Hey, where are you? No, you're way too far north.
Really? You talking to me, or who are you talking to? Okay.
M2M. M2M.
Thank you. I'm just checking who you do. I didn't think anybody could hear me for a minute because nobody was answering. It's like, what the hell?
No, we can't hear you. No.
I'm surprised people haven't Googled it by now.
I'm not
called cheating.
Okay. Okay. First person to Google the answer wins.
Yeah, that's cheating.
No, well, I'm going to give it in 2 secs. So
it's and I'm going by my second answer. I've given you two answers, one beginning with N. I'm just checking that you've got the right answer.
One beginning with N. No,
it's not that one.
Neither of them right.
Neither of them are right. Okay.
No, getting closer. Getting closer. I've got a lot of money.
Too far north.
Come on.
Yeah, but we're going south with Carl.
I'll put us out of our misery now, Christ's sake.
Okay, Qatar.
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 Not cute, cuter.
Qatar Electricity
We're in the right
Corporation.
area.
What sort of tank was it then?
Largest drinking water tank. Drinking water tank.
Oh.
So 436,633.45 cubic meters. So that's 436,633 tons of water.
Yes.
Because a cubic meter of water is 1 metric ton.
I beg to say that I put that answer in more than 5 minutes ago, Timbo.
Oh, did you? Where?
Yes. And I made the comment. I said, I reckon it's one of these groups of people because they would think of building something that big because they got lots of money.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Paul put it in a good 5 minutes ago. 4 to 5 minutes ago. But sorry, it rolled off the top of my chat screen, so I didn't see it because I had a couple of things come in at once. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, that's big. There's a photo.
There's a photo.
Put it in
massive.
somewhere so I can grab it.
Okay, so
but did you know Qatar is the second largest producer of helium in the world to the United States? Did you know that? Just a bit useless information for you.
No, yeah, it's in fair suck.
Sorry, Paul, because I would have happily jumped on that back then.
That's because, Matt, they also produce a lot of oil, and helium comes from oil wells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to question 4 quickly.
I'll just show a picture of the tank.
Stoned. Yeah, you're right.
It's a bit big. I have to make it smaller.
Just waiting for it to
Trying to
come
get it all
on.
in one shot.
There we go.
That's one tank.
Yeah.
Looks like there's more than one tank.
One
There's
tank.
like 2 tanks.
It's got a cover. It's got a cover over it, mate. The one I had actually had it when it's still you could see the water. So yeah.
It looks like it's possibly interconnected.
Yeah. That's not the picture I had, but anyway.
Well, it's just the first one I found.
Yeah, no, yeah, but you get the gist. It's not small.
I mean, I've put in put in large sectional tanks, but ye gods, I mean, just look at the size of that by the ladder that was on the side.
Yep.
Mahusive.
Okay. I'll move on to question 5. Do that button. Works better. When was the last time it was possible to walk by land from Russia to the United States of America?
Do you want the exact year?
Last Tuesday
I want an answer.
at 3:30.
There you go. There's an answer. How far out am I?
You still there, Timbo?
Sorry, I lost you for a sec.
Please stand by whilst we have technical difficulties.
Can't use. Can't you?
Who else is putting
if
answers
you're talking.
in? Timbo's not reading any.
10 points for recognising which film that music comes from.
What film?
I haven't got
What music?
any correct answer.
What I was
I'll
whistling.
just better double check going up further.
I couldn't hear you whistling any.
Can you?
Uh,
I'll have to whistle louder then.
Fred's the first answer out there.
I put in an answer.
Me too.
I'm just completely guessing. I haven't got a freaking clue. So is last Tuesday not right then?
No.
Last Tuesday.
At half,
No.
at 3:30?
No.
No? Okay.
I
So is
think
anyone
it was
close?
a little bit earlier than that. I think Timbo's having technical issues.
Oh,
He's muted again.
well, we've got 12,000 year ago, pre-ice age, 13th hour, 12 to 15th hour.
See, Dave's agreed with me. It was on a Tuesday afternoon, like you said. Yeah, Tuesday, last Tuesday.
No,
But-
it's Thursday.
25,000 years, 11,000 years BCE, Tuesday afternoon. 520 BC. Last
Oh.
winter on the ice, 2006.
Oh, that might be right, actually. Fred Bailey. He could be right. Knowing how
No, but he does say
Tricky
land, not ice,
he did say land. Oh, okay. Possible to walk by land, right? Okay.
because
okay.
there was, of course, like we had here, there was a land bridge from one to the other. Like at one point, we could walk from England to France and Norway, and because the North Sea wasn't a sea.
Yeah.
Now you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, now
Yes.
we can hear you.
Oh,
We
cool.
want to
Sorry
know if
about
we're
that.
close.
Okay. That's
to
all
the
right.
final.
Now, sorry. The closest is Paul at 1867.
Oh, I'm way
I'm
out.
basing my answer on. I'm basing my answer on something, and so.
And
I'm guessing.
I know he's a bit off, a little bit off.
Okay. Like
And
years, decades.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm. I
Okay.
think I'm pretty
sorry.
close.
sorry.
Sorry,
the
it's actually-
the penny's just dropped. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
getting at.
Was it something to do, Timbo, with the Russians giving up something? that
Yeah.
American
Oh,
purchased?
they sold an island to the United States on
An
that in
island?
that area.
have.
An island, yes, they did. They sold an island to the United States.
They probably have.
Yeah, an
But I think
island,
this-
not Ireland. An island.
Let's just say, I think You're probably more than 100 years out, Paul.
Oh, really?
Closer to today. Okay, sorry. Now that I'm back, I've got a chance to go back and see. Did anyone closer? No. Okay. Wrong way, Paul. Sorry. Matt went the wrong way, not Paul.
I've gone the
Matt
wrong way,
went
have I? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And then add some. And then add some. Keep going.
Hit me.
Hit
Do
you,
you remember
hit
you got
you.
to stop at 21? You don't want to go past 21.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Is that your answer?
Who, me?
No, farmers.
No.
No, I was actually taking a piss. That wasn't an answer.
So you don't think that's a good answer?
I didn't hear what you said.
What, 21? As I didn't preface it with anything else, that doesn't really narrow it down, does it?
Well, it does. Paul, the last answer for Matt is 1997.
Oh.
Right.
And I said more, and I said add some, and then you said,
All right, then.
yay, there you go.
Right, I'm intrigued to know what this actually is then, because
Yeah, same.
Okay. For those who haven't get it, it's probably last year. It may even be this year, but the
Was
best
it?
records I've got was last year.
How did that happen then?
There's two islands called Big and Little Diomede.
Yeah.
Big is owned by Russia,
Yeah.
and Little is owned by Diomede.
Yeah.
And given the right tidal conditions, you can walk between the two.
Oh.
Yeah, it takes about 20 minutes.
You're a bit sneaky with your questions today. I don't think I like it very much. Aren't I?
So there you go. The Big and Little Diomede. You have to look them up.
I used to like it quite a lot at one point,
never
Timbo,
heard of
but I'm not sure I do now.
No, okay.
I'm only joking.
It's all right. So there we go. As I worked it out, no one's got that out, but yes, that's correct. Let's move on.
Well, we're learning stuff at least.
Okay.
The hard way, but we're learning.
Hard way. I'm trying to not make it too easy. Geography is pretty boring, so I have to make it interesting somehow. I actually like geography a bit, but it is still boring in sometimes. Okay, question 6. There is twice as many pyramids in Sudan as Egypt, but studying the orientation of the base and tips of all the pyramids, they found that they all point generally to the same point. What do they point to?
The sky.
Now, in looking at this question, just think about the sort of questions I've asked and the sort of answers you've needed. Oh, Carl doesn't like me anymore.
I wonder why.
No.
Yeah, everybody's agreeing with me. Or well, one person said agree with me. RT96 up. The sky. Yeah, up. Yeah, where else would it point?
Not really a point, is it?
Do they all point to the same point when they point up?
Some sort. It's one of them. I'm not sure which one, but I don't. It's one of them.
You're on the right path, Paul, but probably in the wrong direction. It's one point they all generally point to, and it's not Polaris. Yes, Paul, where would that be? If you had to pick, yeah, that's it. Sort of, Carl. It's not the answer I'm after. On the right track, though. And technically, Dave is correct. That's not the answer I had.
Yeah, I think it's that. I'm not sure if I spelled it rightly, but it's that. I think.
No, that's wrong.
Really?
No, it's not wrong.
We could give you a clue. It's perpendicular to horizontal.
Oh, it's not pointing at him, is it? I bloody hope not.
God's teeth, no.
Oh, Bev.
Okay, so I gave some clues. As I said, Dave was technically correct. Except he's not the answer I wanted. So it's Carl, except he's not the answer I wanted. He's sort of...
Oh, okay. I think I might know.
Okay, so just rereading the question. If you took the sorry, let me paraphrase the question. If you took the base and the tip of all the pyramids and formed a direction using those 5 points, where would it point to? That is common. No.
I don't know.
Think three-dimensionally.
But is level horizontal?
Say it.
You don't care what I wanted.
Say it, Farmers. Go on.
Sorry.
Levelly
No.
horizontal.
He's not in the right
I'm
position,
really
so-
upsetting him out. I'm really upsetting him out. And, if Carl I would accept Carl Edwards' last answer. Not quite, but close enough.
What, plum? Cubes.
If you took off all the words except the last 4. Oh, sorry, except almost. Sorry. No,
Away from the center of the earth.
Yeah, if I say that's not, let's just say I said that was completely opposite direction that I'm looking for.
God, you're speaking riddles today, man. Jesus.
Does it sound? Does it just Paul? Does that sound like that was not a big clue?
The trick to getting the Timbo answer is to look at his question and realise that it's written completely the opposite way to what he really meant.
That doesn't help me.
That helps.
That does not help at all.
Okay.
So what?
If
he doesn't
I
want to know
say
which way they
that the
point
answer,
to.
if I said that the answer I was looking for was the complete opposite direction than pointing away from the center of the earth, what would the answer be?
Yeah.
Well, without sounding too obvious, it's going to be pointing at the center of the earth.
Yay!
But I mean, that would be too obvious. Knowing you, though, that would be too bloody obvious an answer. No going by these questions today.
Which is why I put that answer.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yes. So obviously, all pyramids all over the world point to the center of the earth.
No, they don't.
Well, they do.
They point
No,
up.
they're all
If you
pointing
take
the
the
other
top-
way.
Yeah, they all
Pyramids
point up.
have an element of
Don't.
upness to them, not
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
Yeah, it's all right.
If they're
Yeah,
upside
upwards,
down,
not
if they're
downwards.
buried in the ground, yeah, they'd be pointing to the centre of the earth.
It's my quiz. It's my answers. Questions.
My brain aches right now.
Hey,
Why
Matt,
does
what do
my
we
brain
do if
ache?
people that argue on this stream?
Do you want me to
Okay.
do the honours?
This one, I will tell you.
You're not doing very well, Timbo. You're not getting many of the questions right, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's asking the wrong questions.
I'll tell you what.
With my
This one
right
I don't
answers.
believe. If I remember this question correctly, it is not a trick question.
Oh right,
And
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
expecting you to
okay.
be, and I'm expecting you to be able to answer this.
Yeah, I can answer one of them. Oh bloody hell! I can't get access to. Oh, there it is. How many? That's a good question. I can't remember.
No, Terry, that's not. It's bigger than that one. I think it's about 400. No, it's Crumpy. It's not that one. It's bigger.
What? Everyone's going for tranquility.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
no. Even I know it's quite a small one, but couldn't tell you what the biggest one is.
Yeah.
No.
I know
Okay.
several of the C's, but I just don't know.
Okay, Matt. You
Okay.
don't have to yell.
Oh shit! I wasn't yelling. Jesus wept.
Might want to dial back your in.
I put my microphone a bit further away from me.
Okay.
Sorry. Jesus wept.
Okay, so let's see if we've got any numbers. Crumpy is a little bit short on the number of seeds. Have I got any other guesses? It's a number between obviously 12 and 50. Pick a number if you're going to guess.
Well, there's only one number to go for.
What, between 12 and 50?
Yeah.
No. Oh, so Paul's got it right.
It isn't between 12 and 50. What the hell?
Sorry, what numbers are between 12 and 50?
No, I didn't.
13, 14,
No, I didn't say
15,
that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Shush. I'm trying to concentrate.
Okay. How about, because you might get it if I give you, is it Oceanos is the first word, Oceanos? I've probably got a few with that name. I haven't actually checked.
It's one of. Oh, I know which one it is you're talking about then, because that's the only one that begins with Oceanus that I'm aware of.
Okay, we'll put that
But
in
I
there.
can't remember why you spell it exactly how
Doesn't
it's pronounced.
matter. If I was putting it in, I would not spell it right, so don't worry.
Mm.
I could
Okay,
guarantee it.
I'll take a stab at it.
Go for it. No,
That's
as I
about
said,
the only other one I know.
it starts with Oceanus.
It's something like that, I think.
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah, okay.
Close enough.
I don't know how many there are, though. I thought.
Okay, so we have one person who's got the correct number and one person who's got the correct name.
Mm.
And I might give the name out because it's looking like most people have never heard of it. Do you want to say that? Do you know how to say that?
Well, I thought there was only this many.
No, there's more than that.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. So the correct name, and I'm probably mispronouncing this. And Paul, please, Matt, please correct me. Or anyone who knows the correct pronunciation. Oceanus procellarum.
Procellarum, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Is the biggest.
That's the only one that I know is the Oceanus. I didn't know that was the biggest. I must admit, I didn't know.
We've had a few people. Dave, Carl, and Dave have gone over. Need to cut it back a bit, guys. Matt, I'm going to give you a big clue. You could double your answer.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, big clue that was. Unless my maths was really that bad. Oh dear me.
Okay.
That was still hard.
I think we'll. Anyone else want to guess before I give the answer? It's less than. I'll tell you what. It's more than 19 and less than 21. Does that help?
Oh dear.
Okay. So the answer is 20. There are 20 C's on the moon. And anyone know roughly? I was thinking of doing this as a question. Is the Australia wider or narrower than the width of the moon. It's only two possibilities.
Don't know.
And if you get it wrong, I'll tell you, and you might be able to guess.
Exactly. I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to play that.
Australia's actually wider.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yes, Paul. Paul got it in before I answered, I think. Okay, moving on.
That sea is known as the Sea of Storms, apparently. There you go.
That's correct. Yes. It's okay. Yes, I remember this question now. The Sargasso Sea, I'm mispronouncing that. Sargasso, yes, sea is located on Earth. Just to make it easier. What feature does it have that no other sea can claim? I'm willing to take guesses, just to speed it up a bit. So what would a sea usually have? Yes, it can claim that Fred knots, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. It is in the Atlantic, but what's the feature? No. It's
Remember
definitely got water in it.
Remember that name? Sargasso.
Carl, you're on the right track, but what you said was wrong. Close enough, Carl. Close. Carl has it right out in the peanuts.
It's got something to do with that, is it? Or no?
That's got to do with what defines it, but it's not the main deal.
Or that.
As I said. Yeah,
and there's
partly what defines it, but not what I'm looking for. But yeah, go on.
Oh, right, okay, all right.
I like the Zebulon's answer. Has pepper water instead of salt water.
So as I said, Carl's got the answer correct. It is the only sea that has no shores.
Yeah, no land.
Oh, okay.
It's completely
surrounded
by the Gulf.
It's out. Yeah, it's out in the Atlantic, North Atlantic. Was it
North? Okay.
No, it's not North Atlantic, is it?
So why have they named a sea inside a sea?
Because well,
I don't know.
I guess it was just a convenient way of naming that area of the Atlantic.
Because it's defined by the big, the water circles around in the Atlantic. The sea is the bit in the middle.
I seem to remember it's got something to do with seaweed as well. There's a connection with seaweed. It does. Sargasso, isn't there?
It is. And that's why you were right with your plankton and the algae.
Yeah,
it's defined because in the Gulf, but it actually goes around in the Gulf. That drives up that particular. I'd have to look it up. Plankton or seaweed, whatever, and that's what sort of defines the edges. But there.
Oh, that's where then. Okay.
Because I think it's also quite a relatively still area of the Atlantic, isn't it? The Sargasso Sea. Because the Atlantic can be quite a violent area of water, but I think the Sargasso sort of,
and also with
I think the middle of it is quite calm.
Yeah,
I think the middle of it is quite calm.
And also, it would need to be fairly warm for lots of algae to grow as well, wouldn't it? Or would it?
Well, the edges do.
Yeah.
Well, considering that it's defined by 4 different ocean currents, then I would imagine that the currents would be the moving bits that define its borders, and therefore the sea itself would not be currents.
Yeah.
That's right. That's how I looked at it. That was how I read it. Okay, moving on. Question 9. Do I have a nasty question? I got to admit, I can't remember what question 9 was. Okay, yes, question 9. I've given you a multiple choice just to make it easier. The Beatles have the most number one hits around the world. Which artist is second?
True.
And it's one of these. There's no trick questions. Just give me a letter.
That makes it narrows it down. That makes a change. I meant to say. No trick question in this one. I'm going to go with that one.
Take your guesses. Make your bets. Take your guesses.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I've narrowed it down to 3, but which of those 3?
What I'm going to do is I'm not going to tell you straight up whether you're right or wrong. I'm going to let you make your guess, and then I'll tell you. You can see if you're right. Okay, we've got 3 answers in the chat. No, it is not Motorhead.
Motorhead.
Do you know what the best groups got the least number ones because they really didn't give a toss about singles?
That would be my band that I made up in high school. That has got definitely no number ones.
But you know, Led Zeppelin, they did their record company accidentally issued a single once, and they. When the band found out about a week later, they went out and retrieved them all and said, "We're not a band that issues singles." They were specifically album driven. They told their record company, "We don't want you to release singles." That's why they never had any number ones.
No. Terry, are you awake? You gonna throw your dice? He's gone to sleep.
No, I'm here.
He's the fat controller. He can't go to sleep.
No, I can't go to sleep. No.
Is he fat?
Can I just throw an answer in there?
Take a punt.
Just take a punt. Take a punt.
Out of all of them.
Just before I go. Well, yes, it's definitely one of those. Okay. I can tell you that number 3 was Elvis Presley.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you Madonna was number 5.
Oh, right, okay.
And everybody else was behind Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is the number 2.
Really?
Really? The most number one hits?
She has, I believe it's 19 number 1 hits.
Oh.
And Elvis has.
Oh, but not all the ones that she wrote instead of sung, because she can't fucking sing.
Around the world. Around the world.
But so Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey, believe it or not.
So where? Oh, right, okay. So
I'm sure you can find another website that says something different than what I found, but that's
more likely. Yeah, Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but Farmer's Boy, she's got features that don't rely on her being able to sing.
That's true.
Popular.
Yeah, but who takes a blind bit of notice of that?
Well, considering that Rihanna is on the list
teenage
as well,
boys.
Whitney Houston's on the list as well.
Well, she only had 1 hit.
Oh, she had more than that. Come on.
No, she had that really annoying one that just. Oh God.
Yeah, she did, but yeah, she had more than 1 hit. Otherwise, she wouldn't be on the list, mate.
How can you say that, Farmer's Boy? She was addicted to drugs. Of course, she had more than 1 hit.
In fact, out of all of them, the only ones that could really sing would be the Supremes, I would have thought. But I mean, Madonna weren't bad, and Michael Jackson was okay until he went off his bloody marbles, you know.
Yes. Okay, let's go on to question 10. Yes. Okay, I like this question. Well, then again, I am a bit odd. Mm-hmm. The question is, what planet is this that should be in that top bit that's not showing up? I'm going to give you some clues. It's located in the Milky Way, so it's not in our solar system. It is speculated that it contains a large amount of iron and other metals. It's the 5th planet in its system. Names on this planet include Targan Heights, Mithril Sea, and Sonic Canyons.
I didn't think I
Sounds
didn't think
familiar.
we had enough that sort of detail on these extra solar system planets.
Did you?
Mm.
What sort of things do we have this sort of detail on? And I thought I've given you some straight questions, so I thought I'd go back to my cryptic one.
It's not what you think. I think, if I remember rightly. If I know this is another one. He's thrown this another curveball, and yeah. I think I know where this comes from, actually. Yeah, but I don't know the answer.
I think if you can sort of guess.
Oh, hang on. Oh, God, it's not, is it?
I think it might be.
Is it that?
It could be whatever
No.
you just put.
No, it's not that.
Oh,
But
No.
it is. It has the same amount of reality.
Shit. God, it could be anything.
Could be anything. It's not anything.
Well, if it's got the same amount of reality, the answer I've given you, then yeah, it could be anything.
Whoops, go back one. Okay. Let's say the biggest clue might be the second one. And it's planet, not a moon. Yes, Matt, that is correct.
yeah. There you go. I had to Google part of the answer. I'm gonna confess
That's all right.
I cheated slightly, but I knew what direction I was going in
Sorry,
to get that
I'm just
answer.
going to go back and check whether anyone's got it out the peanuts.
No, Carl, it's not Tatooine.
No, Carl, it's got metal. Carl, different universe.
Yeah, the clue is definitely in the second clue there. It's especially the last letter, the last word. Sort of, I suppose. Yeah.
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 No, it's not the Death Star. As I said, it's not a moon. It's not the Death Star. It's not Star Wars universe, by the way.
No, it's not far enough. The galaxy's not far enough away.
No.
Yeah, well, Star Wars wasn't set in our galaxy.
So I think we could safely say now that
it's a fictional.
Fictional.
Planet.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's sci-fi.
I don't even think
So
it's
it's
set in our
sci-fi.
in our timeline even. Farmer.
No, it's definitely
Star Wars.
yeah. Star Wars isn't, but this one is definitely. And let's say, I just got to check this before I say what I was about to say. I think I could be right. 80s, come out in the 80s.
Oh, it was later than that. Not that I'm really into it, but
no, I think it.
Oh, the
You
original.
got to remember, it was on a different continent. Well, before it became well known.
Yeah,
worldwide.
I suppose so. Yeah. And it's not something I was into, but I know somebody who is.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Think a lot much more original and not your tradition. Let's think. I would have got up in the morning and watched this on Saturday. Let's go big clue. Saturday mornings.
What?
Mm.
Yeah, Saturday morning
The originals, anyway.
cartoons.
The original.
Saturday morning cartoons. Ah, yes, we have a correct answer. Was that the first correct answer out there? Let me just check. Yes. Now has the first answer correct.
Go on, just put us out of our misery.
Put your misery. Okay, what planet would have a lot of metals? And what would all the people who live on that planet be made out of metal?
I don't know. I suspect this was after my time.
And when they come to Earth, they would see something. And
yes, it was most definitely after my time.
Transform into something.
Yes, and we never had this on telly when I was a kid over here.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
Okay, we did.
Carl may have gave the answer out earlier.
Yeah, he did earlier. Yeah,
he did.
I'm just letting other people try and catch it. Okay, I think that's enough time.
I had the answer. Planets.
The answer is Cybertron.
Yeah.
Hoxie Transformers.
Which is the planet that the Transformers come from.
I was never into that Transformers.
No, same here. Passed me by completely.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't either, but I know a couple of people that are and still are. That's the only reason.
Yeah, so
why
the names of the features meant absolutely nothing.
No, I didn't think they would. But if I put the capital cities, which was Cybertron City, that might have given it away.
Well, well, how very original naming it Cybertron City. Yeah. That would have definitely given it away. No, I mean the whole Transformers.
I'm not allowed to do the quiz again. It's okay.
Oh, Crumpy, yeah. I'll go out, Crumpy. You do one.
I knew it had to do with Transformers, but I had to look up the planet because I wasn't sure about the planet. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So I did cheat a little
bit.
That's
our 10.
Well, thank you very much. They were mind-bendingly boggling and.
Mind-bendingly, no.
And next time when you do a question about tanks, actually make it about bloody tanks.
Why would I do that?
Fucking water tanks. Look, I have to deal with that for work. That's no fun. Water tanks and all that. Well, I used to. That's the oil tanks are by the by now because we're not even supposed to use gas boilers now. Miserable buggers.
My brain aches now. Got a headache.
But you timed it well because my meeting will start in a few minutes. So
there you go.
Good old Victoria Street.
Oh, is it a Zoom meeting? Is it?
Actually, okay. I think this one's team. Let's have a look. Because usually, if it's Amazon, we have to use Amazon Chime, which is crap. No, this is Microsoft Teams. That's okay. That works all right. Yeah, okay. The Amazon one is rubbish. Or it's laggy and horrible and. None of them like using Zoom. I don't know why, because Zoom's fine.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, seems all right.
Yeah. But I suppose with it, well, to start with, we were using Microsoft Teams, and then somebody higher up the Amazon food chain said, "Hang on a minute, we're Amazon. Why aren't we using Amazon Chime?" And everybody went, "Because it's crap." I know they make us use Amazon Chime, but I think whenever possible, somebody else will say, "No, let's use something else because it's rubbish." But there you go. No, thank you for that. Some of that was a bit sort of.
Some of the sorry about that.
That makes a change.
Yes. Makes a change. I was trying to make geography questions interesting.
Me and the years ago.
That was my task.
Back in the days of the MSN chat rooms and forums, we were members of an MSN group, and we used to do an online quiz every week. So you had lots of little windows open because you had all of these various chat windows open, and you'd ask a question and get the answers and yeah. And of course, in those days, we'd still got all of the encyclopedias and things because we used to like doing crosswords, and these are back from the days when you didn't have the internet. You couldn't just Google something on your phone. And yeah, we used to sit down every week and do a quiz, and after a while it becomes a struggle, and it's like, hang on, haven't we asked this before? Because given the audience, they couldn't be that complicated, they couldn't be that difficult because nobody would have a bloody clue. I know how difficult it is to put a quiz together every week, which is why I haven't volunteered.
I know my kids.
Unless, of course, you want quizzes about tanks and aircraft and submarines, and then I'm your man. But that's a bit specialised.
You got to give it a few hours at least, otherwise you don't.
Changing the subject completely. Did you know that NASA's DART mission was successful?
Yeah.
Did you know
Yes.
that? Yes,
I saw that this morning. Yes, I don't know what the figures are, but I did see the headline.
Was successful?
Yes.
DART, it was successful. Yeah, it changed its orbit around is it Diamond? I always get the names of Diamond. Anyway, the asteroid that it was orbiting, it changed its orbital speed from, I think it was 11 hours 55 to something like 11 hours 23 or something like that. So yeah, and its orbit has actually got closer to its its mother asteroids, as it were.
The main thing is what they tried to do has worked. They've altered its orbit.
Yeah. So they they don't. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I did hear the conspiracy theory that actually it was actually going to hit Earth, but they didn't want to say it was a real mission, because if it failed, we'd all panic. So,
no.
It's amazing how people can jump to these bizarre conclusions off the bat. There's a conspiracy involved. Really? Do you know, not everything in life's a bloody conspiracy, but don't tell anyone I told you that.
Called auto hoaxing, isn't it? I mean, like Pete Shea, auto hoaxes everything.
Everything has to be a hoax. Yes, everything. There has to be some hidden meaning. It's a conspiracy. It's a hoax. Everything. Yeah. How the hell do you go through life like that?
But as I was watching the update yesterday, I mean, they said, okay, well, we proved that generally speaking, it could work. But obviously, as we know, I mean, like asteroids are all kinds of different shapes and sizes and densities and velocities and things like that. So you've got a lot more testing to do, and they're going to do more tests. They're going to probably do another one on another bigger asteroid, maybe.
I'm not going to run away. I'm just going to sort of mute and turn the camera off, because I should be able to do this in team meets without having to drop out of here. So I will return.
Okay then.
But I'll try anyway. I might have. If I drop, it's because it didn't work.
Okay.
Right here.
All right, guys. See you later.
All right. See you.
Right. Well, Matt, I've got your quick update for that DART there.
I've just said everything what's in that video. It's so short, and it's only 1 minute 48 seconds long. So.
Yeah, but it's got, pretty pictures and everything.
Forget it. I can mute, but I can't deafen, so I'll drop out and come back in later.
All right, Farmer. See you later. See you, mate. See you.
Yeah, but we
put it on if you want to, but
we had pretty pictures and everything.
Well, go on, then. Put it on if you want to. It's nothing really very interesting.
Yeah, but I'm shilling your video.
I know you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
I know. Press play, Terry.
Okay.
Hi, Matt here. Welcome to M2M and this episode of Quick Updates and something of some breaking news. It has just been announced in the last 30 minutes of this video that the NASA DART mission to impact asteroid Dimorphos to test if kinetic energy could change the trajectory of an asteroid was in fact successful. And it's just been confirmed that Dimorphos' orbital trajectory around Didymos was slowed down from 11 hours 55 minutes to 11 hours 23 minutes. That's a 32-minute change and is orbiting slightly closer to Didymos, more than NASA expected. This does show evidence that it might be possible to redirect an asteroid on a collision course with Earth by using mass and kinetic energy. Although there is still plenty more testing and research to do, as of course all asteroids are all different in size and density and makeup. I'll leave a link to the NASA live update, which in fact was still going at the time of recording this video. So, congratulations NASA. Thanks for watching and take care. That's it.
Well, there you go. Now you know.
No, it's quite funny because Bill Nelson stood up first in this update, and him being him sort of embellished it as kind of like like it's world history being made and the rest of it. I suppose it is, but you know what he's like. He kind of over embellished it a little bit. It's just a basic test to see, generally speaking, whether they're going along the right lines of doing something like that, and they were, but that's all it was.
Well, they need a bigger satellite thing, like the DART thing, to throw at a bigger asteroid.
Yeah, probably. Well, it depends really on it's not just the size, isn't it? It's the density.
Yeah.
and the makeup of it and stuff, that as well. That's just going to play a part in it. So that's why they need to test more to see, maybe on a different type of asteroid and one that's maybe not orbiting a bigger asteroid. Maybe, I don't know, but they're definitely going to do more tests anyway, for sure.
We haven't got really a lot of Everetts today. I've got one Everett. I've got 1, 2, 3 Antons. So we've got either Hubble discovers a galactic shield protecting Magellanic clouds.
Magellanic clouds. Yeah.
That would be Magellanic.
Magellanic.
Yeah, that's what I said. Remnant star map of Milky Way shows our galaxy may be evaporating.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound too good. And our moon may have formed in just hours, according to a new study.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Who's that by? Anton?
Yeah, these are all Antons. I think the remnant star map of Milky Way shows our galaxy may be evaporating. Because I want to know if we're going to all disappear.
And what about the moon? What about the moon one as well?
Yeah,
What
you
about
like the
playing
moon
both?
one? You got to vote for the moon.
Yeah, I like the sound of the moon one.
Yeah, I like
What's
that.
Carl's 3.14159? What's that about?
Pi.
Pi? No, that's pi. Where are we? Which one's the moon? The moon one. No, okay. So get rid of the others. Okay. Okay.
She looks like she looks familiar.
Doesn't say. Oh, here she is. Erin,
Did you really pick that thumbnail?
Erin's video? Something.
Erin. Don't know. I don't. She looks familiar, but I don't know who that is.
Why would you pick that thumbnail of yourself?
No,
Anyway,
Everett picked it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Anyway, Terry.
Yes, Matt.
Do you feel like press and play?
Yes, I can feel like it.
You can feel. Okay.
Why wouldn't NASA lie to us
Why wouldn't?
about everything that they tell us?
Why would they?
About the moon landings, about the Hubble telescope, about the shape of the Earth.
Because it's moronic.
Wernher von Braun was a Nazi, so those two words are strangely similar, NASA and Nazi.
No.
Fuck.
No.
It was NACA before it was NASA.
I was indoctrinated myself. But then I started learning about things I had never learned before and the deceptions that I had not been aware of before.
Of course. Yeah.
So once I started to get information into the faked moon landings and the Freemasonic origins of NASA and the globe Earth model.
I'll take some words that I know and I'll string them together, see if it makes any sense.
And I started, noticing things that I had noticed before in my life, but I had discounted because I was brainwashed.
No, you didn't, because somebody told you about them. Don't lie.
Like the fact that jets can travel at a certain altitude, straight away at a certain altitude, 35,000 feet, and they never have to compensate for the curvature of the Earth. They don't have to keep on dipping the nose down.
Please be quiet.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too.
Don't be sorry. Be quiet.
I'm sorry.
Which, when I heard that for the first time, I immediately resonated with the logic.
Uh-oh, how unfortunate. Uh-oh, how unfortunate.
But now that I'm where I am, and now that the world is in the situation that it's in with this NWO takeover, I feel like this is all happening for two reasons.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Satanic ritual abuse, SRA. Okay, so you have to look into that. I won't get deep into that right now, but satanic ritual abuse is a real thing.
Of course.
And the other one is the flat earth situation, the level dimension that we live on and in.
Have you lost your mind?
But it's also about, and even more so about, the fact that because of the advent of the internet, we are waking up.
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
They don't want us to know that we really are special and that there really is something over us, and it's the dome of the sky and the stars.
My condolences.
Why wouldn't all of this be faked? All that CGI that you see on the NASA documentaries, why don't they show you live footage from the Hubble telescope?
You don't get it, do you?
No.
Why wouldn't they lie? Why wouldn't they want you to know who you are and what you're inhabiting here?
Are you trying to make me look stupid?
You don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right.
I don't need any help.
Oh, with the big movie camera in the sky called the Hubble. Yeah, okay. Why can't we have live video footage from the Hubble?
I was going to respond to the bit about when you said they want us to make you feel special. I said, that's not the type of special I think they're trying to make you feel.
Special something.
No, it appears to be a pretty common thing amongst flat earthers thinking that if there's a tiny speck in the immensity of the universe, that's trying to make us feel, unspecial.
But I mean, I don't know about you. I think you'll probably all agree with me. I mean, when you consider the vastness of just even our solar system or galaxy or even the universe, to me, that's incredibly humbling. I mean, it's hard to comprehend the size of it, the size of the known universe. They can't Well, I realise that. What I'm questioning is, so why can't they feel humbled by that? I don't get it, because I do. That's for sure.
No, well, that's the thing is, I look at the enormity of the universe and you say, isn't this miraculous? That all this can work together and fits, and they sort of don't like that idea because they want it to be brought down into a smaller thing that they can somehow manage in their mind. That's why they go, look at the speeds we're talking about. And we sort of say, what's that got to do with anything? And they say these numbers are too big.
Big scary numbers.
Big scary numbers, yeah.
And here's the other thing as well that I wonder about every single day is that all these things that the big bag NASA and the big bag governments are not letting us know about. It's funny how that they all seem to know about it.
Well, the thing that irritates me is the history. It's the history thing, Oh, it's all CGI. Well, when was CGI invented? It's not like this was all invented in 1954. Yeah. That's the bit I can never get. It's just like, this is all a new thing. It's all like, no, it's several thousand years. Who's snoring?
Wasn't me.
Wasn't you?
Yeah, I get that all the time with moon landings. Like Apollo 11. Yeah, it was CGI. Really.
What in 69?
Yeah, CGI wasn't even invented.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't. They even say it was. They sped up the film. Even that technology wasn't available for the length of the films.
No, it wasn't.
69.
No.
So it's just like straight up history. And so, like, how do you think all the planets were discovered? All the continents were discovered. How did they get around the Earth before, when they didn't even have opposing theories? It was like, we're sitting out in a boat. We need to work out how to get from one
Well,
place to another.
if the Earth was flat, you think they would have figured that out a long time ago.
Well, why did, in the 1500, well, obviously it was well before that, but why in the 1500s when they're floating around in the boats, why are they trying to maintain this idea that the Earth is round? To what end? There's no NASA. All the politics is all over the place. Trying to get from one spot to the other, So if you're wrong about that, you're going to end up nowhere near where you need to be in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. That's just, I don't know.
Anyway, did I see you had a bit of Anton there too?
Yes, I got a little bit of
some more Anton.
A drop of Anton.
A drop of Anton, yeah.
A drop of Anton. Yeah.
A drop of Anton.
See that little triangle thing next to the line down the bottom?
Yeah.
And if you could go to the right a little bit of that, no, other way. I'm looking at the Mirrorverse.
Yeah, it's all ready to go.
Yeah, Terry.
Yes, Matt.
Would you be so kind as to press play, please?
Yes, I can do that. No effort.
Thank you.
This is Anton, and today we're going to be discussing our moon, and specifically some of the new updates in regards to the formation of the moon and what the scientists believe happened approximately 4.5 billion years ago to create this somewhat unusual and somewhat mysterious object. The object that's quite unique in the solar system and potentially is also quite unique in the other star systems as well. And that's because, compared to some of the other moons in the solar system, our moon is just a little bit too big compared to the planet. It's also a little bit too similar to the planet, and actually has quite a lot of other features that almost suggest that both Earth and the Moon were actually created from some kind of a larger object, or from an event that created both of them at the same time. Something that happened 4.5 billion years ago, and something that could be actually quite rare, but something that could also explain why, at some point, the Moon orbiting planet Earth helped the Earth stabilize and created just the right conditions to then start life on this planet. But not a lot of other objects out there. And so today we're going to be discussing some of the new updates in regards to what's known as the giant impact hypothesis, with some of the most advanced simulations to date, helping us understand a little bit more about how the moon was probably created, and why things are the way they are, both on the moon and on planet Earth. Here's, by the way, a kind of a family picture of our planet and some of the bigger, more important moons in the solar system. As you can see, Earth's moon is a little bit different from everything else. It's also the densest and the rockiest object of them all. But I guess the first question is, why do the scientists today think that the moon was probably created from the same material as planet Earth? Or why do they think that this object here was a result of some kind of a collision 4.5 billion years ago? Well, the first clues came from various Apollo missions in the 70s, starting with the Apollo 11 in 1969, that collected 22 kilograms of various lunar rocks that were then analyzed on planet Earth. Here's one of the first moon rocks. This is from the Apollo 17 mission. And to the initial surprise of the scientists, they discovered that a lot of these rocks were produced approximately 4.5 billion years ago, or about 150 million years after the formation of the solar system, so a little bit after the formation of other planets, but surprisingly had extremely similar composition and isotopic composition to a lot of rocks, ancient rocks on planet Earth. On top of this, the way that the moon orbits around the planet creates a relatively high angular momentum for both bodies that's actually kind of difficult to explain unless they were created from something that existed here before that already had high angular momentum in the beginning. Now, a collision with an object, for example, would create this extremely high angular momentum and would maybe explain what we're observing. At the same time, the lunar spin alignment is very similar to the spin of planet Earth, also difficult to explain unless they were created from the same stuff. And their density is relatively similar as well, whereas the density of all other moons is much lower. So basically here, almost everything points at the fact that the moon might have been created from relatively similar material to planet Earth, but through some kind of a violent event 150 million years after the formation of the solar system. With the major explanation now suggesting that about 4.5 billion years ago, there actually might have been another object known as Theia, located in one of the Lagrange points in the same orbit as planet Earth, that eventually became destabilized and slowly approached our planet, colliding with it a few million years later. And the result of this collision was obviously the formation of the moon. In this case, that primordial object is now referred to as Theia, the mother of Selene, or the goddess of the moon. Now, so far, this is the best explanation we have for all of the observations, but exactly how this happened is of course another question. And so for many years now, the scientists were trying to figure out exactly what happened, how it happened, and more importantly, how all of this then produced both the moon and planet Earth. And some of the initial assumptions based on some of the earlier simulations suggested that there might have been some kind of a powerful impact that probably created a ring around the planet, or basically some kind of a disk of debris that was probably formed from a lot of the material on the surface of Earth, and of course from the leftovers of Theia. Eventually this coalesced into the moon that used to be much closer to our planet, producing ridiculously high tidal effects, and over time slowing down the rotation of Earth from 6 hours to 24 hours that it is today. But these initial effects, especially these really powerful tidal effects, might have actually played a really important role in allowing life to form on our planet, because as Moon orbited around Earth, it almost served like a stirrer, mixing all of the chemicals on the surface and essentially allowing complex reactions to take place. All of this was extremely different from everything else in the solar system at that point, making the Moon potentially one of the more important parts for the formation of life on the planet. But one thing nobody could agree on is of course that actual collision part. How exactly did it happen? How exactly did some of those parts then form the Moon? And is this something that's relatively common and can potentially be found in other star systems, which would of course suggest that life could form there as well? Or is this something that's just super rare where Earth got really lucky? So here, this is where the simulations and various supercomputer calculations come into play. Here's actually one from, I guess, 8 years ago from 2014. Now here, you can see that there are not a lot of particles, but they do eventually result in the formation of the Moon, which seems to actually interact with the planet several times until it finally settles into some kind of an object that eventually stabilizes and starts orbiting around the planet. This doesn't take too long, but it still takes some time, so this process is definitely relatively complex. More importantly is that this indicates that the Moon was probably formed from various debris that almost look like a ring at some point. And quite a lot of similar simulations have been conducted in the past, with the scientists trying to figure out exactly how all of this worked, by essentially reproducing this using supercomputers, but slowly increasing the resolution of the particles, and thus increasing the number of the particles, which also meant that you would need more and more powerful computers to try to simulate all of this. Now here the idea is pretty simple. Simulating this with just a few particles is not really that accurate in representing what might have happened. Here, one of the scientists gave an analogy of using, for example, a Lego car that only contains a few blocks in it, compared to an actual car made out of atoms. If you were to test the results of a collision between actual cars, where we know the effects from various tests, and then compare these to tiny models, the effects are obviously going to be very different. And similarly, using supercomputers with a lot of blocks versus just a few blocks is probably going to produce different results, which is why the scientists have created this. The most accurate, the most detailed, and the most high-resolution collision simulation of the object that we refer to as Theia and primordial Earth. And in this case, it kind of shows us what most likely happened based on these initial simulations. And here's the interesting thing. As you see from the simulation, the Moon did not really form the ring or did not form various shredded particles. It might have actually formed almost right away within just a few hours. Here's another simulation from a slightly different angle. So as Theia collides with planet Earth, it generates a huge amount of debris that mixes and sort of circulates around the planet, but it almost instantly coalesces into larger chunks, larger objects. And more importantly, in this simulation, it actually created two objects, the larger Moon and the smaller Moon. And because of the gravitational interaction between them, the smaller Moon got sort of lobbed away from the planet, and the larger Moon fell into the planet. And at some point, all of this formed extremely similar objects to what we actually observe in the solar system. And so in this particular case, the simulation recreates the Earth-Moon system extremely accurately through just one collision, and all of this only took a few hours. Although naturally, as you can see, it also produced quite a lot of other debris, which of course suggests that there could be some rocks and asteroids orbiting somewhere out there that might have been the leftovers from that initial collision. But the most important discovery from the simulation, the most accurate so far, is really that all of this took only a few hours. It was not a slow and gradual process, it did not take thousands of years, it might have been super quick. In this case, the scientists used a very complex simulation meant to simulate gravitational and hydrodynamic forces, the simulation known as SWIFT, and ran this on a system known as COSMA, Cosmology Machine. And by simulating this over and over, using different angles and different speeds, they were able to recreate exactly what we're observing by using approximately 100 million particles, which is thousands of times more than ever before. And more importantly, the simulation also kind of agreed with all of the observations that we have in regards to the composition of the Moon and planet Earth, the actual spin, the angular momentum, and all of the other observations that even include the unusual tilted orbit that was formed as a result of this collision. Although naturally, to confirm all of this, the scientists would still have to examine some of the other rocks from various lunar missions in order to confirm the isotope composition and the mixture of these elements, comparing them to the theoretical values from this particular simulation and from the study. But because all of this seemed to have happened relatively quickly and also without much hassle, it also suggests that this is maybe something that could happen around other objects and possibly even happened around the objects in the solar system as well. For example, it could have happened around our neighbor Venus, but because it's much closer to the Sun, there's actually a chance that it might have lost its moon because of the tidal interactions with the Sun, which eventually caused this planet to become entirely different from our own planet as well. And you can learn more about why neither Venus nor Mercury have moons in one of the videos in the description. More importantly, it also implies that some of the potentially habitable exoplanets we've discovered so far could maybe have very similar features as well. Maybe a moon could have formed here as well, allowing those planets to experience similar effects to our planet Earth. Now, it's not really a question we can answer yet, especially until we discover some of these moons around other planets, but it would be an important question to answer if we ever want to answer the question of, does life exist somewhere out there? And so by answering the question of the origin of the moon, we might actually come a little bit closer to learning more about life existing somewhere else out there. But naturally, this is just one of new studies that has this new answer. It's quite possible that in the next 10 years, as the computers improve and as we get better and faster supercomputer simulations, we might be able to discover something entirely different, or something that helps us understand a little bit more about the moon formation that was not answered in this particular study or in this simulation. At the moment though, this is still pretty impressive, and the simulation itself is just incredibly beautiful as well. But until future discoveries or until future studies, that's pretty much it. You can find all of the relevant links, including the links for the simulation, in the description below. Subscribe if you still haven't, share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, come back tomorrow to learn something else, and maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description. Stay wonderful, I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah, without a supercomputer we can't do simulations.
We can, they just take a bit longer. Rather than taking maybe a couple of weeks to calculate, they might take a couple of millennium.
And if we never went to the moon and brought back a sample, we couldn't compare it to what we have on Earth.
That's right.
One.
Yep. Oh, the thing that I find interesting is how they show that one picture in the background, which is the pretty picture. But I know that what they would have done is multiple simulations to be able to see what the consistency of that. Well, the CGI is just to be able to sell it to probably get more funding, but the reality is that they would have done lots of multiple simulations to come up with their conclusions. It wouldn't have been just the one that we see in the background.
And they use more and more particles for each simulation as technology got better with the supercomputers.
Yeah, but in terms of the number of simulations they can run per day or per hour or whatever, depending on, I'm guessing that given the number of particles and the calculations they're doing, even with a supercomputer, it's probably going to take an hour or so to run a simulation. So that's, and to get a decent result, they probably need to do maybe at least 100 or 1,000 simulations. Otherwise, you'd be accused of not enough data, basically. Because you got to think about it. It's the angle at which the two bodies can collide, the size of the bodies when they can collide, all those variables they have to confirm for.
And they'd have to have a result that closely resembles or represents what we've got now, what's left.
Yeah, so the majority of the simulations would have to come up with a similar result for it to be concluded that that's a feasible possibility. It's a bit the same way they do the weather.
Yeah, well,
when they simulate the weather, they run it thousands of times, and the results that are the most likely are the ones that they tend to adopt and say this is what's going to happen. That's why you now have the percentages of rain. They used to tell you it was going to rain, whereas now they'll tell you, oh, it's a 99% chance of raining or a 60% chance of raining.
Was this 99% chance of getting rain in that area or something?
Yeah, but that's how they come up with that number.
Yeah,
it's based on how, if you're in a simulation with the random elements that you build into it, effectively, and it's very simplistically saying 60% of our simulations said it was going to rain, and the other 40% said it wasn't. That's how they come up with that number.
Oh no! I've just found out they've got a date and time for the next Artemis attempt, and it's at 4:07 UTC, which would probably be all right for you in Australia. But that's going to be.
It takes off at that time.
Well, yeah, it'd be all right for you, but yeah, I'm supposed to be like I've already committed to saying that I was going to live stream it. Yeah, so
okay.
Don't fancy that. Looks like I'm going to have to be staying up there. Sorry, go ahead.
And the fun thing is it'll probably get delayed a little bit because they're being very cautious. So you'll get up and then, 18 hours later, it'll take off.
I'll say they're being overcautious. I mean, it's they've got problems.
Overcautious.
Yeah. I mean, they're as cautious as any other launch. But what you got to bear in mind is that this is a brand new vehicle, really. So, this is testing. Things go wrong, especially with new hardware and stuff like that. Like all the leaks from the the disconnects and stuff like that. The problems they've been having. I mean, that's all new hardware.
Have they tested the leaking again?
Oh yeah, that was all solved the last time they fixed it on the launch pad and all the rest of it as well. So, and since then, since obviously the storms happened, they've had it inside that tall building, the VAB or vehicle assembly building. So they would have replaced all the batteries and all kinds of different things have been sorted out, ready for the next time. But bloody 4 o'clock in the morning, God, Benny.
Well, that's only is that the actual launch time?
Yeah, well, that's the time they're targeted for launch, 4:07 UTC. Well, that's when the window opens, and I think the windows on these are quite short this time. Previously, it was like a 4-hour launch window, I think, but this time it's down to like an hour or even 45 minutes or something like that.
So what point were you thinking you'd start streaming in the process?
Well, I've already said that to people that I would do the stream of the tanking process, which starts about 4 or 5 hours before. So I'll be up all night. Yeah,
all night.
So I'll be up all night, with it, sort of thing. So, and I don't have to, but I've always said to people that I would do.
That work out for us?
For you, that would be sort of like, I don't know, what, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon for you, or something like that. Yeah. So good for you. For a change. So I'm surprised they're going to be doing a nighttime launch, but there we go.
No, it'll be daytime.
For you, not for them, or me, for that matter. Yeah. So yeah, the 14th was it? What did I? 14th of November. That's right. Yeah. What else you got, Terry?
We're finishing off with Simon.
Finish off with a bit of Simon Dan.
Famous comedian rants about the moon landing.
Oh, that one.
Famous comedian. I haven't even seen this.
Yeah. I've done a little video alongside Dan's actually about that.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yeah. It's only about a minute and a half if you want to have a look at it afterwards. I don't think it's going to happen somehow, but you never know.
I don't like your chances.
Well, press play, Terry.
Yes, I can do that.
Owen Benjamin is a comedian with some very strident points of view on a variety of topics. Now, we've looked at him before in the days where his YouTube channel was still active. However, he has since resurfaced on David Weiss's YouTube channel, DITRH, and he's going in hard on the moon landing. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, MyHeritage DNA. MyHeritage is the #1 family history and DNA service in Europe and makes exploring your bonus. You can start a 30-day free trial for MyHeritage Best Subscription for Family Research and enjoy a 50% discount if you decide to continue with it. Right, back to today's video where Owen Benjamin is ranting about the moon landing. Now, he obviously thinks that he is completely correct, but unfortunately, he's deep into a Dunning-Kruger bender like you would not believe. Brace yourselves, people. Here we go.
No one went to the moon. It's the same thing with like Kherson and Ukraine and the Donbass and Russia and stuff. Like, he's in Ukraine. He's like, the shit you people are saying about Ukraine is not true. I'll debate any of you on it. I'm the same way with the moon landing. He might not have looked into it. I have. No one went to the moon.
Oh, he's looked into it, guys. It's fine. Don't worry. No one went to the moon because Owen has looked into it. Behave.
And so it doesn't make me an idiot. It makes me smart. And, you know, if anybody ever wants to debate me on that, like I did, Harrison Smith on InfoWars was the only person to ever publicly debate me on it.
Was not a debate.
Because he was like, no, we definitely went to the moon. Most people won't debate you because they know they'll lose.
I know plenty of people that would debate you, Owen, on the moon landing, all of which would thoroughly crush you. simondan@gmail.com if you want to arrange one.
The moon landing is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. It's like retarded. So the one thing in the last 60 years where technology not only did not advance, it went backward and they destroyed it. And there's no way they can go back. And even though there'd be like infinite commercial opportunities for Michael Jackson to do a concert on the moon or a military implication, they just can't go back because they destroyed the technology and it's way too hard to bring it back.
Budget cuts will do that, Owen. NASA's budget was more than 2% of the whole federal budget back in 1969. Last year, 2021, it was only 0.48% of the full budget.
So anyway, so when I debated Harrison Smith, his conclusion was his only winnable point after I annihilated him was why does it even matter?
Oh, it matters, definitely. And he couldn't have been that good if that was his only winnable point.
So the one time someone could debate me on it, I liked him at the time, and then he became a gamma and talked a lot of shit. But I got him to the point where his only argument was, why does it matter? $58 million a day. People's entire worldview. A distorted view of all of reality. It matters. Okay, if you look at what time in human history as an explorer went somewhere, they came home, it sounded incredible, like you could fly and jump really high and all this, and no one followed them.
Well, they did. NASA sent another 6 missions to the moon, all of which, except for Apollo 13, made it.
Oh no, there's another Apollo, but come on. After the early 70s, no one went back. They're like, no. Does that ever happen in exploration? When in technology has it ever happened where there's been a technology advance, you're capable of doing something, then you destroy it and it doesn't advance and you never do that again.
We are talking about something which is incredibly hard to do. This isn't just a technological advancement here on Earth that can be developed and invested in with very few physical limitations. This is sending people to the moon, a rock in space that is 385,000 kilometers away with all the limitations involved. The Saturn V rocket cost $6 billion back then to build. In today's money, that's $66 billion. Now, that's just to build it, let alone launch the thing. NASA's budget last year was $23 billion. So yeah, do the maths, Owen, and then realise how hard it actually is.
Okay, they also, NASA, according to NASA, the proof they went to the moon, they destroyed the telemetry data. Why did they do that?
No,
No.
They did not destroy every single copy. They just overwrote one, I think.
Well,
they think that's what happened.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It was the backup tapes of the original slow scan telemetry tapes that were recorded over. Well, not just those, but that's what they were mainly interested on. They recorded over a whole load more stuff. Now, first of all, the telemetry data was never lost because it was all passed on to the various departments and organizations and companies who were involved with developing the technology to go to the moon. Everybody's got all the data they actually needed. They've got it. They've all got copies of it. Okay, so they so also what they did was they put on some tapes, the backup tapes of the slow scan TV, in case that the TV broadcast didn't work for some reason, right? That's what they did. And that's all it was. So there's nothing on any of the tapes that nobody has either got or haven't already seen. That's all it was. But they've got it into their head that all the telemetry has been lost. It's gone forever. No, it's not.
Yeah, they like to change the wording of everything for everything that they're trying to debate us about. We find
the
out
only
not the words.
Yeah, the only value that those original backup tapes had was historical value, which I agree NASA probably should have kept them. But at the time, it served no practical purpose because all the TV networks had seen it. The whole world had bloody seen it. All the TV networks had got recordings of it. They've got it. What's the point in keeping it? So historical value.
Wasn't it also very high quality, expensive tape, which is why they reused it?
Yeah, they reused it for the NAOO. Is it NOAA? Is it? I can't remember the National Oceanographic because for their satellites we're recording the data.
NOAA.
They needed a lot of that because there was a lot of data coming in every single day. So
and they said, "Yeah, look, we got some. You can use this."
Yeah, because it was expensive stuff in those days. Very, very expensive. So yeah,
it's only got moon stuff on it. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, well, I don't think at the time. I don't think they were quite sure just what they were handing over. But it's like, yeah, look, we got some reels of this tape. Yeah, go on, use that.
Well, I think they did know. I mean, according to the investigation, they did know, but at the time they just deemed it as kind of there was no problem with the TV broadcast.
They'd already got it. Yeah, they'd already got copies.
Right.
So what was the point? What was the
other issue too? The machine that actually read those tapes is not around either.
No, they're not around either anymore. No, but they were at the time, obviously, because that's why they used the tapes. But I think NOAA was really the last project that really used, those sort of tapes. And then from that onwards, after that, we all went digital. So, no need. So, I mean, they've got a massive building that's just full of. They've got a massive building that's still full of these tapes, and most of it is being used by NOAA, as Farmer's Boy said.
And he said, when in history have we had technology that we don't use anymore or something?
My response to this, when in history have we ever gone to the moon before or after? It's not the same. It's kind of like developing technology here on Earth. It's going to the bloody moon. Nobody's ever done it before that. It's not difficult.
That's not a
thing to respond to.
Equivalency then, isn't it? For something to
do exactly. Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s, and they taped over the proof that they went to the moon.
Well, the telemetry data isn't lost, is it? We still have it, but NASA did delete the raw footage on the original tapes. There are still plenty of copies going around, so your argument here is non-existent.
There's if you look at the Apollo lander, it appears to be a meth head's tree fort that he made with garbage he found behind a dumpster. Okay?
Just looking like that does not mean it was fake, does it? That's not evidence. That's your opinion.
If you put that into the vacuum that they claim exists, it would not be possible at all. You need 7 feet of lead to contain that type of vacuum. If you have a pressurized chamber.
Owen is talking about here what you would require on Earth if you have an enormous atmosphere pushing down on your vacuum chamber. No such protection is needed up in space where there is no atmosphere involved. Another fail here, Owen.
Okay, so out of one side of their mouth, Neil Armstrong and his ilk say that they got to the moon with less technology than an iPhone, and all the college girls slack-jawed and the homosexuals, they all clap like little seals.
Homosexuals? I get it. You're a homophobe as well. Thanks for confirming that one, Owen.
And then out of the other side of their mouth, they say we don't have the technology and it's too painful to bring back.
Yes, the Saturn V rocket, although as we speak, NASA do have a new launch system. And the Artemis mission is due to go back, but you can see how hard it is because that mission has had 2 scrubbed launches already.
They'll show you their suits, their hand-stitched suits. Like, it's all retarded. How did they have... how did they do it? Okay, Gonzalo Lira might know about photography. I know about television broadcasting. I know about liars. How do you broadcast live from the moon with no batteries?
Well, they did have batteries. The lunar lander was powered with silver zinc batteries. They sent the signal from an antenna on the lander to satellites in Earth's orbit via radio waves and then on to Honeysuckle Creek Tracking Station in Australia and Goldstone Observatory in California. Yay. Simple.
If you go to a TV station, I've done a million morning radio, morning TV. You know, good morning, Dallas, it's Gary and Terry. I used to do all that when I toured. You'd have giant transformers and giant dishes just to go like 50 miles. So you're telling me 240,000 miles away through the vacuum of space in the Van Allen radiation belt, you have something that looks like it was put together by a meth head behind a dumpster, okay? And 3 Freemasons playing golf with no ability. Like, they had to measure their water and their syrup that they're eating because weight is such a problem with thrust and all this nonsense.
So Owen doesn't subscribe to physics then? You can guarantee that if they didn't mention this, then they'd be like, oh, how did they take off from the moon with all that gear on board?
So where's the batteries? How do you keep the batteries cool when it's positive 200 in the sun and negative 200 at night?
There is a difference between heat and temperature, Owen. As there is no atmosphere on the moon, the only way for those batteries to get warm is if they were exposed to direct sunlight, which they were not.
See, the problem with liars is they lie in one direction to get a lot of acclaim and everyone to think they're space cowboys and so brave and they have grit and all that. And then they lie the other direction and say that, you know, and they want to be like super technical and it's so advanced and you couldn't possibly do it again. Their bragging undoes their entire story.
Only to Dunning-Kruger wannabes like yourself, Owen. The rest of us get it.
So you're telling me you went up there without any real machinery. So how did you keep it cool in the day and warm at night?
Oh.
You know, okay, here's a basic one for Gonzalo Lira. And bear in mind, I like his stream. This is originally just an example of how to listen to somebody and not react, but I'm finding it very interesting. When the astronauts left space, who panned up the camera? If Gonzalo Lira knows so much about cinematography, how did they pan up?
Old chestnut.
And then how did they get the photographic equipment onto did they just leave the guy that panned up and all the equipment there for the next round? But it was being broadcast live. Okay, it's so stupid, guys. It's so stupid.
I'm glad you went full incredulity mode on this one, Owen. So the camera that panned up was actually controlled from Earth, and the operator at NASA even did it 2 seconds early to take into account the 2-second delay of the signal as they knew it was live. Is that okay for you, Owen?
I was watching Gonzalo say his proof is that those pictures could only have been taken on the moon. They could not have been taken on Earth. Any evidence, Gonzalo? Like, you want to talk about Want to talk about undercutting your credibility? It's like, so you've done experiments, taking pictures on the moon. How could those pictures have only been taken on the moon? Like, that's so stupid.
Okay,
I
I can see
how many times I've heard that argument about, have you done it yourself? Have you done that experiment yourself?
Yeah.
Have you?
It probably
there's no Sorry, go ahead, Terry. Sorry, I don't know.
No, you can finish your sentence.
And there's no obligation in science that you have to do the actual science yourself.
Yeah.
To prove anything. It's not an obligation. It really isn't.
They want it done in a lab, or they don't want it done video on it, or in the backyard, or wherever.
I go to the dentist to have my teeth fixed, or to pull a tooth, or whatever. I don't have to learn how to be a dentist to do that. Same principle as far as I'm concerned.
Possible back then to take photos that looked like they were on the moon, of course, but that is not evidence in itself that they were faked. Bloody hell, Owen. If this is the best you've got, people will be rubbing their hands in anticipation at the thought of debating you. Dear, oh dear.
Oh my God.
Yes, please.
And then you get into flat Earth and people think you're just bonkers. And then you just say 8 inches per mile squared. That's the curve of the Earth. Okay? Allegedly. How do you have a lighthouse that's 40 feet high being seen by a ship that's 50 miles away? That's not even close to possible.
Oh dear, he's really fallen off the deep end, hasn't he? Right, let's wrap that up for another Tinfoil Tuesday. We are all done and dusted, people, for another episode. Thank you so much for watching. It truly is appreciated. We're on the road to 500,000 subscribers. Please do subscribe. If you haven't done so yet, please do. And of course, if you really enjoyed it today, hit that like button and share it if the feeling takes you. Just enough time to once again thank MyHeritage DNA for sponsoring today. Remember, to get your DNA test kit, click the link in the description and use the code MANDAN for free shipping. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great week, and I'll see you all on Friday for the return of Mushella and her ISS proof videos. See you then.
ISS proof.
I'll debate him. He said nobody would debate him. I'll debate him.
I came back
who
for
is
that.
this guy? Is he some celebrity of some sort?
No, he's a comedian in the States. Well, that's debatable as well.
Yeah, well, that's right. I've never heard of him, so he can't be very popular.
I mean, he was actually quite popular and quite famous before he went off the deep end and started getting into flat Earth and the moon conspiracy landings and all that kind of stuff. And he had a whole load of shows cancelled about it because he was, going on to social media and YouTube and all the rest of it and making all these claims, wild, outlandish claims, as well as all the other conspiracies. So a lot of places shut his shows down. They wouldn't do his shows and stuff. And he became less popular from then on. But yeah, he's a comedian.
But yeah, again, that's got a lot of inbuilt anger.
Yeah, he gets quite a big following. I mean, he was chucked off YouTube as well, apparently, from saying all sorts of stuff, or not just about flat Earth or moon landings. He was going on to all kinds of different things.
Of everything,
yeah, a bit of everything, and he was going a bit off the deep end. And they chucked him off YouTube, chucked him off Twitter, chucked him off Facebook. I don't know where else he's been chucked off. And he's got his own website now and stuff. Yeah.
Well, he must have recorded that and put it somewhere.
I think that's off his. I think that was off somebody else did a live show and they're interviewing him. I think.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's got some videos on his website. When you look on his website, you can't. When there's like a link at the top of it and it takes you to his the YouTube account, you can't do that. But all intents and purposes, it looks like a YouTube video, but you can't click through it onto YouTube. It just buffers plays on his website. So I'll debate him. I mean, I've listened to him many times talking about the moon landings and stuff like that, and he doesn't say anything that I haven't heard before, like from all of them.
Yeah,
he doesn't know anything. He really doesn't.
Yeah, it's just the same old nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah. So he said everybody's afraid to debate him on this. I'll debate him, no problem.
And they reckon they reckon we follow a script, but we can nearly write their script.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, he follows the script to a T on that particular subject. He's got lots of other ideas about things, but when it comes to moon landing, he's right along this script, 100%. So yeah, I'll debate him, no problem. I'll do it.
You think you might know a little bit about the moon, Matt?
I might know a little bit, yeah. There's lots of people that know far more than I do, but you know, some people are not willing themselves to put themselves out there, and I'm willing to put myself out there. You know, I know a few people that would help me as well, but I don't think I need that much help with this guy. Honestly, I really don't. He's not that clever. He isn't clever, really, to be honest. I think he's a moron personally, but he's just a well-known moron.
Well, I don't have anything else for you tonight.
That's all right.
It's a weeknight.
The only thing I think he really got, if we did have a debate, I mean, he might run rings around me because he's a comedian. He's probably sharp and wit, and he's probably got the gift of the gab and stuff like that. But in terms of knowledge, I think I could probably beat him hands down on that when it comes to
that's
Moonlanders,
what they
for
think
sure.
they can beat you just by talking and don't say anything.
Yeah, I'll give him his due. He's quite sharp and he's quite quick, and I'm not. But that's probably the only thing he's got on me. But so what if he makes a fool of me? What's the worst that's going to happen? You know? But I don't think it's going to happen anyway. I mean, I'm a nobody. He's not going to want to speak to anybody else unless they're really popular. So I don't think it'll happen. But you never know.
Do you think Blue would debate him?
You might. You could. Nope, no answer from Blue. You there, Blue? No.
He went to the eye. He went to the eye doctor. He probably.
Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. What?
Did you go to the eye optometrist or the eye doctor?
Yeah, I did.
The one where they put those drops in your eyes and they blow that bit of air on your eyeball?
Yep.
Oh, that.
Did you blink? Because I can't help it if I blink.
Of course I blink.
Yeah, it's impossible. They say, try not to blink. You bloody try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, try not to blink. Yeah. You can try not to do that again unless you want me to hit you.
Well, you've missed out on all the fun, Blue.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
What fun was that then?
Timbo had a really confusing quiz.
That wasn't fun. That was torture. What are you talking about? You mean just trick questions?
Throw Blue one of the questions.
You want me to throw a question? Will I do the Starfield one?
Yeah, do that one.
No, I don't know. That'd really trick him, that one.
Probably wouldn't, actually.
What about the tank one?
The tank one? Nah, that's a bit...
Farmer's just shaking his head. No. Don't do that one.
Farmer was thinking, oh yeah, tank one. Yeah, I'll have that.
He did warn me, I must admit, but even so.
I said, you're not going to like it.
Not going to like it because it's not about tanks.
I didn't say that.
No, I know, but that's what it comes down to. It's a photo of a tank, but we're not talking about those sort of tanks. We're talking about boring ones that hold water.
Well, that's the thing that got me. He was like talking about a tank, and other words, a battle tank, but it had nothing to do with battle tanks. So what the hell was the point of the picture then? Why did you do that?
Because it's a tank.
It's a tank.
It's a tank. It's just to throw you off.
Who does that? Who does that in a quiz? Who does that in a quiz? Timbo Turtle does. Yeah,
Timbo Turtle does. Yeah. I do. You're talking about.
Well, we are having a different.
Okay, we put one up.
We are having a contrast of quizzes between you and Paul.
Yeah, that's it. That's my intent.
Yeah, something a bit different.
Yeah, we have a hard quiz from Paul.
Okay,
and we
there
have
you
a
go.
confusing quiz from Timbo.
You still there, Blue?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to put that one up for him, Terry?
But you already have.
Oh, you should be able to see it. You should be able to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Sorry, I forgot. Yep. So the question is, What star field is this that most of the world can see?
Any of them.
Oops. It's
No,
the same star field both sides.
It's a trick question.
Trick question.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, most people started to see it in 1977.
I'll give you a clue.
Hmm?
It's not our stars.
Yeah, that was confusing.
All right, I'm confused.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's the stars. It's the stars from the start of Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what we said. Did anybody get that question right? Did anybody get it, by the way, after several clues?
Farmers got it right first.
Eventually.
Yeah, after several clues. Yeah,
after several clues, yeah.
Yeah.
Blimey, yeah, it took some doing, yeah.
They didn't like the tank question because it was.
Oh, stop teasing me with Little Willie.
What was the biggest tank in the world?
That's not often you hear on a live stream. Stop teasing me with your little Willie.
Little Willie. I didn't say your. I just said Little Willie.
It was the water tank in Qatar. Was the answer to that?
Yeah, nothing to do with battle tanks.
Yes, that threw him off.
Oh, the pyramid one.
that
That
was
had really confused Blue.
Yeah, bloody confused everybody.
No, it was. As I said, basically, if you take the base and the point, what point do all pyramids around the world point to? They obviously point to the center of the earth. Because
No, they don't. They point up.
I'm going to argue with that.
Yeah, they all
I'm going to
point
argue
up.
about that until they all point up. They don't
If
point
they
down,
were buried
do they?
in the ground upside down, yeah, they point to the center of the earth.
So Gasso C. Do you know where the Gasso C is, Blue?
I don't recall right offhand.
That's the feature was that it doesn't have the shores because it's the only sea that's surrounded by other seas. So it's in the middle of the Atlantic. It's right in the middle of the collection of the Gulf Stream. So that's the Sargasso Sea. Oh, that was just who was what. Ah, yes. I don't suppose you used to watch cartoons on Saturday morning, did you?
No, Blue would be too old for that.
The planet they had to guess was Cybertron. Anyway.
Yeah. Transformers.
Transformers.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't
Transformers.
have any idea.
So I'm in trouble. Apparently, I can't do the quiz next time.
As Paul said, you didn't get the questions all right.
Paul got a few of them right.
No, my answers did not match his questions.
Oh,
so,
would
yeah.
Blue know the one about the last time we could walk across?
Oh, yes. Do you
between
know the last time you could walk across from Russia and USA?
Yeah. That was a trick question.
It's
by land.
By land. I can't remember the numbers anymore. Seems like it's something like 6,000 years ago or something.
No,
that's probably last year.
It's a trick. It's a trick question, Blue.
There's a
I can hear
big
both
and
of
little.
you talking at exactly the same time. So okay,
That's
try it
good.
again.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
do that again.
I'll answer the question. It's the big and little Diomede Islands. The big Diomede belongs to Russia, and the little belongs to America. And given the appropriate conditions, the tide is low enough you can walk between the two islands. And it happens about every 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, I think
Or a
you're
couple of
gonna have
times a
to
year
put
in some cases.
I think you're going to have to put a bit more of a clues into the questions as you.
Yeah, they were a bit
Paul
obscure.
does.
Yeah, they were a bit obscure. I was thinking about that.
It still challenges you though.
Oh,
it still gets you sort of thinking for sure. Yeah, so it's not a bad thing really. As much as I complained about it, it didn't really, you know.
And I was trying to let people sort of get guesses in general. Where am I heading?
No, it's all good, Tim. It's all good. It's all good.
Anyway,
Yeah, not a drama.
There won't be next one. Won't be that hard.
That'll be confusing. We'll call you up the confusing quiz.
Confusing, the twisted quiz.
Yeah.
Oh, the twisted.
So we've got a hard quiz. So we've got a hard quiz on a Saturday, and we get a confusing quiz on a Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. Just to confuse you.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm done.
We're done?
Yeah,
You're done.
Yeah, I've done me goodbye.
So, actually, I've got my name. It can be the Timbo Turtle Twisted Test.
Yes, that's fair. Twisted, yeah.
Tortured.
Yeah.
Torture test. Torture test. Timbo Turtles torture test. That'll be good.
Oh, thanks, Timbo.
Okay.
Thanks, Big Blue.
Thanks, guys.
Even though you're late. Did you get a note from your optometrist? Farmer, Matt, Boris Podolsky, is that his name? I can't quite read it.
Yeah.
Zebulon, Biggest Doggers, Ozzie, Stewie, Clive, Anamorphic Mind, Zebulon, Biggest Doggers, Dart. Oh, Dart's still there. I thought he ended up hitting an asteroid. Oh, the wrong Dart, sorry. Surf,
yeah.
Fondle. I've seen a farmer out there. I have to keep going up with Carl. Carl's still got power. Amazing. Clive. Blue was out there too. Who else? Going up. I'm sure I've seen somebody else out there earlier. Yeah, there's Carl. Grumpy of Gunt. Low Rider. I can't go any further. I'm not sure if Dora was there or Judy. Can't remember.
I think I saw them.
Not sure. Come back down again. No, that was it. Alright. So we're going to finish off with anything. Good night, panel. Good night, Peanuts. Till next time, people. Yes, I need.
No.
Good night, Peanuts. Good afternoon, whatever it is.
Anyone
Not
got
going to
any
do a CC.
Last minute statement. Anecdote. Word of advice.
Nah. I ain't got anything ready.
You got nothing?
I got nothing.
You got nothing? Matt, you got anything?
Nothing.
Yeah, don't eat yellow snow. Can't think of anything else.
If only I'd listened to what my father said.
What did he say?
What did he say?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.